Which link?
The one about Kid Rock?
Uh, it's funny because it went straight to red ice,
Hmm.
which made me laugh. But it wouldn't. Was it a video?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good.
It's
Because I
it.
sat there and looked at the picture for like 3 minutes and it wouldn't start. So I started to think maybe it's just a picture.
No, yeah, it was a video. It was ridiculous too. You made like a whole
But
character of patriotism, and someone had said that it was just like a scene from Idiocracy. You know that
uh,
movie?
no, I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, it's like set in the future where like people are so dumb and you have to see it.
Hey, drunk, you want to come in? We're not talking any politics tonight. Snow Scream, welcome. Yeah, you got two people right away. That's nice. I'm sorry, cut you off.
That was
But
dumb.
didn't he give like a speech?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't get that far.
No.
It was just like they introduced him like it was some kind of like rumble, some kind of like wrestling match. I half expected him to come out like on a motorcycle with like gigantic like American flags on either side.
I have to go watch it somewhere else. Do you not like Kid Rock?
I did, but I don't like this display. It's just over the top.
Yeah. What was he? Is he still running for mayor or whatever?
Yeah,
Or
I think he's running
councilman
for
or
senator.
oh, senator?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that might be a little too much, buddy. I can't put you in my senator spot.
Yeah, I kind of don't want him to be senator after seeing this display. It was terrible.
Did you see the lady that it was like George? It was in the South that she in her campaign bid and everything she would say she would put "I'm white."
I did see that. Yeah, a lot of people are wondering if she's like on our side, quote unquote. That's a bit too obvious, you know?
Yeah, it is. I think she's just like she knows she's not going to win or anything, so she's like, well, maybe I can get like people that are really racist to vote for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes, I did.
yeah.
Or she's a plant, just to make it,
Yes.
Have you
the white
seen
supremacist boogeyman.
Have you seen her and talked to her or heard her talk?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, she's an idiot. She looks
Is she?
she looks like she's doped out. I don't think
Oh
she is, but
no.
yeah, I don't think she is, but I think it looks like it.
No.
The, I was listening to local radio, and they were talking about how uh, the last no the Charlottesville, one of the people that got a permit that was supposed to be on the all right side was like a no Occupy Wall Street person.
Oh, Kessler, I think.
Is that
Yeah, he
okay?
was. Yeah, he was the one that orchestrated the whole thing.
And now that they found another one that an alt right guy wanted to do a free speech thing, and this guy is also did stuff like that or was part of the Occupy Wall Street.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's not so unheard of because I think the alt right has a lot of libertarians, and wasn't that kind of like a libertarian movement?
What the Occupy Wall Street?
Mm-hmm.
It was like a hippie movement. Maybe it
But there
started
were.
off with a good intent, but it
Oh
turned
no,
out
it
to be
was.
shit.
It was absolutely retarded. Yeah, most people didn't know what they were doing,
What do we
except
hear?
causing mayhem.
Well, it was funny when it was happening, and there would be videos here and there come out with like businessmen that would come up and ask the kids that didn't know why they were even there, ask them
Mm-hmm.
questions and shit, and they had no clue. They have no idea
Yeah,
what's going on. They just
we're
saw some
fighting. We're
tents.
fighting the power. What's the power? The
You
establishment.
man,
What's the establishment? I'm not talking to you, man. You're part of the establishment.
yeah, they do that
Yeah,
so
I
much.
remember this video of this one chick. She thought she was so edgy because she was like showing her boobs to like the cars passing by. But it's like, no, you're just being slutty. Like, the dudes are happy you're doing that. What do you think's going on here?
Vote for me. That's a great point.
Oh, your microphone's getting all
God
crappy.
damn it. Why does it do that? Okay, I'll be back.
It's still crappy.
Oh, I'm stupid. I refreshed the wrong thing. Let me try it again.
Hello, Chad. Hi, Bruno. Hi, Snow Scream. Hi, Beautiful and White. How is everyone doing? We're strong for battle. How dare you not join? How dare you?
Okay, are we live?
Yes, we're live.
Okay, we're live. How about this hurricane coming?
Kind of sad. I guess there's all kinds of fires going on too. Now, California gets fires every year, but there's like another state that's also on fire. And so everyone on my normie Facebook's like, the world's coming to an end. Because there's all these hurricanes.
There's
and
always
fires.
those people.
Yeah, they forget that like it happens, you know.
All the fucking time.
It's like, yeah, part of nature.
That's kind of a problem with the internet. The dummies don't really know what to do, and
Well,
all
the
this
thing
information is coming.
The funny thing is that they could just look at, you know, because Facebook has that thing where you can look at what you said like a year ago this day. They can see like,
That
oh
is
yeah,
so true.
this was like this 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
This never happens. Oh wait, yeah, it did. This year and this year and this year.
Oh, you know what I hate the most though is when, like, especially in California, no one could ever be happy. They bitch about the hot summer until it's wintertime, and then they bitch about the cold rain. And it's like, oh my god, like I just can't wait for summer.
Yeah,
I hate it when people do that.
I bitch when it's like really like 100 degrees. I'm done.
Well, I think with 100 degrees, that's, you know, that's fine.
But I
You know,
kind of like the winter.
It's acceptable. They've been having 112 degrees in California.
Jesus Christ, they deserve it. They're pricks.
Aw.
All the videos I see, it's like no hope for you guys. I mean, there's good people there.
There's a ton of good people. You just don't see them because they're busy about their lives.
Right, I understand that, but there's so many dumb ones. Did you see the streets were just filled after Trump won, and they were pissed?
Yeah. No, I'm glad I moved out of there. Like, I don't get along with the people there at all. It's all about like fashion and I'm glad I'm out of there. It's either Mexicans or or like really preppy white people.
Well, there's literally towns that are now just like not all Mexican, but
there are
far majority Mexican.
Oh yeah, I lived in those towns.
They're like flying the Mexican flag and shit. It's like,
oh yeah, like I grew up with that stuff, and every weekend you hear mariachi music and the ha 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 whatever that thing is that they do.
So
and then you got the corn guy that comes on the weekend and.
What were we talking about?
Hi.
California.
Hi, baby. What? Really? As soon as I did it, you left me alone for like 2 straight hours. You're supposed to be asleep. They let my kid take a nap in schools.
Oh no.
Well, in school, I don't know schools. I don't know how many she goes to, but yeah, and she's not used to naps, so she's just annoying at this point. Yeah, I love you, but you gotta go to bed. It's like late. But
probably take a while for her to adjust to the new schedule.
Oh, okay, so Sean G, I guess, is on his way. That you wanted to yell at him. He's no Professor Stick.
Oh, I would destroy Professor Stick.
Okay, you keep saying that.
I'm lying in wait. Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, I need like an itinerary of the things he's going to bring up so I can brush up on it.
Well, Stick will be just like, what? Why don't you believe it? And then you'll say this, and he'll go,
And then I'll be like,
this,
but no, not really, because blah,
right.
blah.
That's what I want to see, because Stick, go to your Twitter, Sean. Stick will do what I do. You know, he'll take a video and just say where they're wrong. But you never get that response video where the person goes, you fucked up.
I'm sorry, I was distracted by Bruno.
Oh, great.
Something about Spencer. Sorry. Something about Spencer throwing Cantwell under the bus. I didn't hear about that. Hi, Trick Pony. Yeah, I didn't hear about that. Poor Cantwell's still locked up, though.
The guy who maced somebody? Is that what he was doing?
Yeah, in self-defense, I guess.
So is it just the county who's making a point not to come back to my county?
I guess so. I don't know. He's facing 60 years, though.
Fucking hey.
Right? That's a bit extreme. I just saw an article today about this. This is random, but whatever, I'm gonna throw it out there. There was this guy that killed this other dude that was trying to buy pot from him, and he got locked up for like 40 years or something like that. The guy that died's sister ended up joining like the medical community, and she was working in prisons, and she got like a heart for like the prisoners. And for whatever reason, she decided to work to get her brother's killer out of prison. Isn't that crazy?
Why would you do that?
Why would you? I don't know. Like,
I mean, does she love
absolutely
him? Absolutely.
acidine. Well, I don't think they fell in love. Hopefully, it's not that kind of story. I don't know. She's a crack job. That's all I know.
He killed him over a bad drug deal?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Maybe she knew her brother deserved it or something. He was always a dick anyways. Never give me a ride or nothing.
He stared at me in the car. Quit looking at me.
That's dark. That's fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me go see.
There's not very much going on, is there, though?
Well, the hurricane's kind of taken over everything, and I mean, most of the videos about that, and that's what kind of happens. Be there in 10 minutes. 30 minutes. Okay. Well, he knows where we are. But yeah, that's kind of how it is in the YouTube news world. I was
gonna say, oh, fine, Dana, don't say hi to me. But then he said hi. Never mind.
Dana, yay. Okay, what's up with are we going out to war with Tom?
What?
Are we going to war with Tom?
Tom Arnold?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. He's my arch nemesis now.
Yeah,
he's like level 1 mob boss that I have to defeat.
Oh, he's only a level 1?
Oh, of course. Yeah, he's like the basic level. He's like watching. He's like stewing right now. How dare you?
Have you ever seen Spawn?
No.
There's a character that Lakewood Zamo, he plays. He's like a midget clown that's all blue faced, but he has a weird way that he walks, and it just reminds me of Tom Arnold so much.
I hate Tom Arnold's a troll. Okay, so I feel so I'm not even gonna bring it up. I don't care. I'm gonna let it go. But some of those comments that were like left under there, oh my god, they pissed me off. And I feel stupid because I misread one of them, and then I realized like, oh, that was not what I thought it was, and so I deleted my comment. Now I feel embarrassed. But anyways, yeah, Tom's just being stupid. I'm gonna sue him. If he tries some shit, I'm gonna sue him and take all of his money.
I'm telling you, we could work this in our favor since you have his attention. Obviously, we can just do videos on him and not like just seriously go after him, but
make him go insane.
Make him respond.
Because he's the kind of person too that like can't handle stress. I don't think.
Not at all.
And so he probably would just go like batshit crazy.
Just get him to respond, because the response, I don't care how good it is, against me, I would love it.
But he doesn't make videos though, so it'd just be like, he doesn't make the best sense in his Twitter.
No, posts. Not at all. That's why his video would be amazing.
Try to draw him out to make videos.
Exactly.
That would be funny.
We can do that. All right, Sean.
How you doing, sir?
What's going on, buddy?
Just relaxing. Just walked in the door. Sorry it took me so long.
That's all right. We usually start at 10. I didn't get started until 10:30, so not that big deal. So, you have relatives in Florida or something that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I got some friends and some YouTube family that's out there
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, that can't get out of there at the moment, so they kind of had to hunker down.
Oh no!
Yeah, so just kind of wanted to say, Nick, stay up, be safe, man. Then got my number, check in with me, man. I know he's out there right now, so.
Oh man, that what happened? They just realized they were going to leave too late, and
no, it's just financial reasons. He got a big family, and they just can't really they can't just up and get out of there like everyone else is at the moment. So they had to hunker down.
Well, I heard that Buford's. I think they said Buford. I think in South Carolina had to be ixnay. They told him to leave, and that's where my grandparents were when I was growing up. That's where they lived. I remember every year that they would leave right around this time and just travel. Because not always because of hurricanes, but a lot of times it was because the hurricanes were coming.
Yeah, it's crazy times right now.
It's almost like you got to prepare. Like you got to put some money away every month just for this. Just so you can get out.
So I don't have to worry about too much of that stuff. And I'm in Southern California, so
you got earthquakes.
Yeah, but it's not so. I'm in San Diego, so we don't get the grunt of it, though.
I mean, that's just. I would freak out if I was walking down the street and all of a sudden the fucker opened up.
I was so young for
tornadoes.
My first one.
That's literally never happened in my lifetime. That's so common. You're just walking down the street and the earth's just like.
I remember watching the World Series between Oakland A's and the Reds, and they had an earthquake, and they showed destruction everywhere. So even since I was a kid, I was like, earthquakes just eat you.
Yeah, that was I was real young when that happened, but I remember. I don't remember it, but it was crazy.
To me, earthquakes were always fun.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's just it's like
right. Anyone from Southern California, your dogs freak out, and one time I was on the top bunk and fell off the top bunk onto the floor.
Yeah, you kind of wait it out and just wait and see if something falls.
Yeah, are we gonna have to rebuild? Are we gonna lose everything? I don't know. But I would be much more afraid of tornadoes. To me, that's way more prevalent and way more,
No.
That's easy. Tornadoes, I live where tornadoes are. I can go outside.
Yeah, fuck that.
My girl doesn't know about tornadoes. So she's always scared about if it gets dark a little bit, she gets scared. But I can go outside and tell you if we got to worry or not. And with tornadoes, it's usually just a small path where they go is where you're fucked.
But you don't know where that path is the problem.
Right. Yeah, that's true. It can be anywhere, and the tornado sometimes can be half mile long.
See, earthquakes, it's it just happens. You got to deal with it. Tornadoes, it's it may happen, it may not, but those sirens are going off anyway.
Yeah, and you're in the basement under a fucking table for hours.
Yeah. Oh, no, I couldn't handle that.
Yeah, fuck that. I'll take earthquake over that.
Ah, pussies.
Any day. Yeah, you'd be the first one grabbing a pole if the earth starts shaking under you.
Hell yeah. I don't even want to go to California. All right, so you two are going to talk evolution. I'll kind of just shut people up when I need to. Sean is for evolution and Berserker is against. So who wants to start? Sean, why don't you go ahead and figure out what you and Berserker disagree with?
Yeah,
okay, so why do you believe in evolution?
Everything around me, everything I see, everything that can be proved, really.
Such as
animals, humans.
Okay, animals. How does animals prove evolution?
Everything from snakes to lizards to.
Okay, how do snakes prove evolution?
Say again?
How do snakes prove evolution?
Well, the first. Well, I know the first fossil evidence that we found of snakes was, I think it. Let me see. I think it was 25,000 was the oldest one they got right now, as for the common snakes that we have now. But they have little appendages and little nubbins that used to be legs. If you open one up,
I don't think that's true. What find was that at?
Say again?
What find was that? Where was that found at? What, like, if I want to like look it up. So where was it found? Because to my understanding, we don't actually have any species that are in between. We have species that we still have today or that have died off. Complete species. And as far as like the dating goes, carbon dating only like works within 5,000 years because the carbon life or whatever, like it just gets compromised. But not only that, but carbon dating itself is run on a lot of assumptions.
Yeah, but we also have, I think it's probably about 30 different forms of being able to date, radio materials.
All of which runs on assumptions, such as like the for instance it does. For instance, the carbon dating, it's running on the assumption that carbon has been coming down at the same rate it always has been, which creationists don't believe that it has.
But you don't believe it has, but we can show you that it has. We can over and over again.
Oh, you can? Really? How? How can you show that? What?
How long it takes to deteriorate. That's the whole function behind it. I mean, we have so many different other ways besides just carbon. You can't just use carbon.
No, but okay, so hold on a minute. You were telling me that, okay, so carbon comes down or whatever, right? And it goes into like an organic specimen.
Yes.
We're assuming that carbon's come down at the same rate that it always has. Creationists believe that the rate that carbon came down was different way back when. But not only that, like I said, carbon dating really only works like 100% when it's within like 5,000 years.
But you're only using carbon dating.
So how do you? Well, you said okay, but you said that you could prove that the carbon has been the same. Huh?
I didn't say that carbon has been the same the whole time.
Oh, okay. I might have misunderstood you.
Even when they date stuff, they don't date it and say that's 10,000 years old to the date. That's when it started. That's when it died. It's always a round off number, but we know that it takes around a certain amount of time for it to get to that deterioration rate.
Yeah, but it's run on assumptions such as that the carbon has come down at this certain rate. And there are other assumptions too that they take into account when they do these datings. So the dating system isn't a slam dunk proof.
Oh, you're right, and they never say it's to the date. Even if
but we're talking. But hold on now, we're talking about proof.
Time.
So you said the snakes, they're proof for evolution, and then one of the things you bring up is because of that you dated it. Well, now you're admitting that the dating process isn't slam dunk proof. So what's the proof for evolution?
Because when they know it wasn't 100 years old, they know it wasn't 100,000 years old. They're within a certain radius of the time.
Well, like I said, within 5,000 years, anything after 5,000 years, it's you can't be sure after 5,000. So what is the proof for evolution?
Wait, so you believe that everything in years that they say is just a complete utter lie?
I'm sorry, say it again.
So you're saying everything that they say is above 5,000 years is just a complete lie?
Well, I mean, you'd have to like point out like this particular case or that particular case. I believe that the Earth is about 7,000 years old. So anything beyond that, yeah, I think is I wouldn't call it a lie. I'd say they're misunderstanding the evidence.
How old? 7,000?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when they
your mic's messing up.
I'm sorry. Hang on, let me do this.
Sometimes if you just refresh your page it will fix it. We got cheap mics apparently.
Once again, the Android is superior.
But I said, do you just use your phone's mic?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, I got this whole microphone and my computer. And I'm sorry. All right, guys, go ahead.
Okay, so proof. We're waiting for proof.
Okay, well, I mean, for instance, woolly mammoths. We know that woolly mammoths lived from 1,000 to
Oh,
say I
your
think it
mic.
was 8.
Again, but your dating process is flawed.
Yeah, it's not flawed. It's also not exact, and they very
It's
clear that it's
flawed.
not.
It's running. It runs on assumptions
So
that
all that
I and creationists disagree with these assumptions.
so okay, but all the fossil evidence that we found.
Okay, what
all,
fossil
every
evidence? What fossil evidence?
mammoths. I've personally seen mammoth
How is the
bones, and
fossil of a mammoth disprove or prove evolution?
because we know that they have the same DNA, the same genetic. Elephants. Elephants no longer have the same the hair, the same tusk formation. We know
Well,
that they're the
just
same.
okay.
We
Well,
know
just off
that
the top of my head, I would say that they are elephants, just a different kind of elephant, just like we have different kind of bears and we have different kind of dogs. It doesn't prove evolution, though.
but a brown bear and a black bear have different genetic structure. They're the same animal. They have the same some of the same DNA sequences, but they're not the same animal. We know that by DNA, by know everything about them to know that they're not the same animal, but they are the same species. The same way humans are.
They're a bear.
You know,
No, okay, but you were
that's
just
okay.
saying. Okay, hold on a minute. The woolly mammoth, the woolly mammoth.
Yes.
You were saying has the same genetic information as the elephant.
Very close, as not exact, because if it was exact, they would be the same.
Okay,
but
well, if
yes.
the woolly mammoth has similar genetic information as the elephant, that doesn't prove evolution. Now, hold on, I should clarify. I believe in micro evolution. I just don't believe that's. I take contention with the word evolution because when you're narrowing in a species, you're actually losing genetic information. You're not gaining it, so it's not going to create a different kind of animal. So I believe you could take a dog and make that dog into a chihuahua. You know what I mean? Finches could have different beak sizes, that kind of stuff. But when it goes from one animal to another animal, another completely different species, that's where I draw the line. That's where creationists draw the line. So just to clarify, like microevolution, I believe in. So how does a woolly mammoth prove evolution?
Because they're close enough in their genetic structure that they are the same animal, basically.
How does that prove it? Just because they're close.
From where they were found.
No.
Because the time that woolly mammoths were found, for the time that when they were found, the time that they were dated at to be roaming
again, the dating process can't go on that because of assumptions. So how does the woolly mammoth sharing genetic information with the elephant prove evolution?
Because we know that the gene structure this right at one spot, and it's gotten to this far. That's evolution. It's evolved from what it was before.
Microevolution. The woolly mammoth is greater than the elephant, so that's like a narrowing in of genetic information. Again, remember, I believe you could get different kind of dogs from the same dog. I believe in microevolution, but anything from one species to another, I don't believe, and you don't have any proof for that.
Chihuahua and a wolf, their genetic structure are so completely different compared to a mammoth and an elephant. That's like saying a whale is completely different than I gotta find the name. I have it right here. A whale mammal species is. It's called a. I actually had this mark, but Cynic knows I do this. It is called a Piccaninnius. It was an animal that was dated. I know you don't like the dated word. Was dated for about 2.5 million years ago, and we can go through its developments, its bone structure, and go to a whale, and it has the exact same appendages, just less. So where it started off.
Hold on a minute. A whale has
Yeah.
the same bone structure as who? As what?
As an ancient.
Oh, you're muted, Sean. You're muted.
I got this really crappy setup on my mic. Let me change it real quick. All right, that should be a lot better. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Hello? Okay, cool. Let me find this picture. Now, on the picture I'm going to show you, so you kind of come where I'm getting to. Whales have basically a hip bone appendage that obviously they don't need anymore.
The elephant actually needs that bone. It is related to reproduction functions.
My apologies. I have the completely wrong plug-in. So I'm sorry. Can you say that one more time? Because I had the wrong plug-in. I apologize.
That bone you were referring to in the whale is actually important for reproduction purposes.
I'd like to say I beg to differ on that.
Google it. Google it right now.
Not. Well, I've definitely looked at it. I'm about to pull it up right now. You explain to me how that bone is part of reproduction as I pull it up.
I think certain, things are attached to it. That's how it keeps it, Let's see here. I'm pulling up News USA. Whale reproduction. It's all in the hips. New study turns a long-accepted evolutionary assumption on its head, finding that the whale pelvic bones play a key role in mating. That's USA News. I'm sorry, USC News from the University of Southern California. It's actually a little bit more reputable. Both whales and dolphins have pelvic hip bones, evolutionary remnants from what their ancestors walked on land more than 40 million years ago. Common wisdom has long held that those bones are simply vestigial, slowly withering away like tailbones on a human. But turns out they were wrong. It has a purpose. It's for mating.
And how do they use it for mating?
Well, I'm not a biologist. I don't know. You read the article. I just know it's this article. These are evolutionists that are saying, "Oh, whoopsie, yeah, the hip bones are kind of important."
Well, this has nothing to do with it. So,
I'm sorry. What? Come again?
I'm pulling up right now. All right. Guess you can.
Now, when you Google it, you have to make sure and put whale hips reproduction functions, because otherwise you might get like an old article before they realize like they were wrong. Once again, the evolutionists were wrong.
I don't believe that. How does that make it wrong, even if that were the case?
Because it means that it's not a vestigial organ. It means that it's a very important organ to keeping whales alive and going.
But what you're saying, just saying that it's hip bone and it's used for reproduction.
No, well, hold on a minute. You were bringing up the hips as a proof for evolution because you thought that they looked like, they were what was used to walk on land. What I'm saying is those hips actually serve a purpose for the whales. They're there for a reason. Evolutionists didn't realize that. Oh yeah, but okay, but that's why they have hips. That's why.
Okay, but
It's not a vestigial
use
organ left over from any other time. It serves a
Yeah.
purpose.
Okay, it may serve a purpose now, but before it was appendages.
What? No. What? What? What?
I don't think it's because
Oh, hey, I'm awesome. I'm awesome too.
Hey, is my mic working?
now,
Yeah.
okay, because that doesn't make it so that those appendages, those are pointless. Because they're used for reproduction doesn't mean that they weren't legs at one time, and that's exactly where.
But it doesn't mean that there were legs at one time. I mean, okay.
It does mean they were.
Okay, listen to me. They used to think that they used to think that the whale hip bones were vestigial organs of when they used to live on land. They didn't think it had any purpose, and so they used it as a reason for. See, why would the whales have hip bones? Obviously, that means they walked on land. They've recently discovered, oh no, it's important for reproductive purposes. If they had this structure
in that article,
for no reason, listen, if they had this structure for no purpose, I could see how you would take that as proof for evolution. But since it has a purpose, now you don't have proof for evolution. So what's your proof for evolution?
No, that doesn't disprove evolution. What you're saying,
I'm not saying it disproves it, but you want to prove it. So how do you prove evolution?
I don't need to prove. You want me to prove evolution? I know evolution. Just the same way you think you know.
How do you know evolution is true? Are you telling? Oh my god! Is this gonna be like the fastest debate about it? Are you gonna tell me right now that you can't prove evolution? Is that what you're gonna say? You can't prove evolution? Oh damn! All right. Well, how do you prove it?
Look through here, but do you want me to look through so I can know exactly what you're talking about with this hip?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Well, no, you just said though you.
Told you the reason they had them was because millions of years ago they used to walk on land, and you said no, they used them for
they don't. Yeah, it's a purpose. They were created as they did not ever walk.
So the article you read said they never walked, right?
No, the article's an evolutionary article. My point is that those hips are not vestigial organs. They serve a purpose. There's a reason for the hips.
Now they make a purpose. So maybe they did.
Maybe they didn't before. What? No, because in your idea, they served a purpose for walking before.
Yes.
Okay, that's fairy tales, my friend.
No, it's not fairy tales.
Yes, it is.
You're not telling. Where the article
from a long.
What you're saying right now
from a long time ago and far away.
So what you're saying is right now they use them for reproduction, right?
Right now.
What?
Oh God.
Yeah,
it's okay.
That's what you said.
So the hip thing doesn't prove evolution. It doesn't prove it because it's not a vestigial it's not a vestigial thing. I don't know if that's an organ.
Okay, so what you're saying is that what you're saying is it's there only solely for the purpose of reproduction. For
the extremely important purpose of reproduction, yes.
Okay. So whales have ever been around, and through its evolving, that's all it's ever been, right? That's what you're saying?
I'm sorry, what? No, I don't believe in evolution. So I believe when God made it made it with the hip bones that were used for reproduction purposes. Okay,
well, that's not in the article, and that.
What's not in the article?
What's your proof for the article read that they use it for reproduction? Does not mean that.
It is in the article. No, okay, but see, here's the thing: is that I'm showing you from. Hold on a minute. I'm showing you from an evolutionary website that those hips have a purpose. Yes. That's all I'm using this website for. So yeah, obviously this website believes in evolution, so they're gonna have their own answers for it. So now that we know that the whale hips have a purpose, it doesn't prove evolution. We can move on to the next thing.
No, because they have a purpose now that they don't use them as legs. That's like saying
you can't prove that it had a different purpose before.
Yes, because we know there's still a map.
Oh, how?
Just because. Well, now I'll pull that up.
Hold on a minute. Your mic's fucking up. What?
Because like I said, there is. You can pull this one up right here, or do you want to screen share? I don't know how to. Hang on. Or I can screen share. Duh. Pull it up. Because there is a map of what they were as they evolved. I understand you don't believe they evolved, but that does not change the fact that they still
If
have
it's a
map
fact,
of
if
what
it's a fact, I want proof.
well, I'll
What's
show you
the
the map
proof?
that they've drawn out, because you're still not drawing out proof that it wasn't. Saying it wasn't doesn't mean it wasn't.
But you're saying that there's proof for evolution. So the burden of proof is
Yes.
on you.
Because they've drawn up the map.
Because people told
map.
you, people with high degrees told you, so you believe them?
Absolutely. Because
Okay.
I'm sure they'd have a better understanding it than I do, so I have to go off of something.
Have you ever heard of the emperor's birthday suit?
All right. Well, in that case, you explain to me how you know your version is right. What proof do you have that you know that the Earth is 7,000 years old?
Okay, well, as far as I go, I don't tell anybody that they have to believe what I believe, because I understand that we all look at the same evidence differently. No one has proof.
Have never told it.
No side has absolute proof. Why I believe in it is because I have a faith in the Lord. And that's what my Bible tells me. And I haven't seen any actual evidence to disprove it.
Anybody, they have to believe in evolution.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. What?
Just like that's what you. I said, just like that's what you believe. I've never told anybody.
I know. Except for you came up here saying that there was proof for evolution. You said it a couple times. Okay, what is the proof? The difference between me and you is I'm saying there is no proof. We look at the same evidence differently. You're telling me there's proof, but you're failing to show me what the proof is. So show me what is the proof.
Mapped out, what they found, and the structures and the genetic structure they found, and then your proof is because.
Genetic structures? What? No, hold on a minute. Okay, so let's go with that. What's your proof for evolution?
The mapping of everything that's evolved, everything that's
what map
they found and known.
What map?
This one there. You guys just change it. And this one is just of Wales. So. I wish I could make it bigger. Fuck.
Pictures don't prove anything.
So when you look at, do you not follow maps to go somewhere? Because that's a picture of something.
Well, so if someone randomly draws up a map, I'm not just going to trust that map. Anyone could draw up a map. Doesn't mean that the map's actually accurate.
So you never used a map in your life, right?
I use maps I know are true and correct. I'm not going to let some hobo down the street draw me up a map to get somewhere really important and just trust this is fine.
So a hobo made this, not someone with a PhD in that study.
Someone with an agenda and a bias made that right there. That picture proves nothing.
No, true scientists
it's just a picture. It's a picture. That doesn't prove anything to me.
I can prove someone who only studies whales and only wants to justify one thing. But
yeah, but I know scientists that have degrees that will argue against these scientists. There are scientists on both sides. So your picture doesn't prove anything.
Okay, yeah, even better than that. Okay, so what are your scientists' proof that evolution isn't real? You're saying to me that
listen. Once again, I want to point out the difference here. I want to point out a difference here to you. I can't. Blah, 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 blah.
I don't here to make you believe evolution. I came here to prove that I have, and I assumed that you had your proof for your assumption. Then
No, listen. I want to illustrate again the difference between me and you is I say that neither side has proof. We look at the evidence differently. You're the one coming up here saying there is proof for evolution. If you're saying there's proof for evolution, what is the proof? You don't have any.
I actually do.
Where is it?
Show you studies that I've done my personal self because
anything would suffice. Just don't show me a picture. What's your argument for evolution? What's the proof? What have they found?
Okay, I'll even show you an evolutionary study that they've done and been 100% proven. So hang on, I'll pull it up right now. I'll explain to you. And in the meantime, since you did tell me that you believe the Earth is 7,000 years old. What is your proof behind that? While I pull this up.
Okay, again, I want to make sure you understand. I say there is no proof for either side.
Then how do you say?
We look at the evidence differently. You're the one telling me there's proof for your side.
Okay, so then how did you tell me just a minute ago that the Earth is 7,000 years old?
Okay, let me illustrate it this way. The Grand Canyon. Two people can look at the Grand Canyon and see two different things. One guy sees the Grand Canyon and
exactly how the Grand Canyon is.
How do you think the Grand Canyon was made? How do you think the Grand Canyon was made?
Was it 1.5 million years ago? There was a Colossus Lake above in Wyoming, Montana, that breached and started off the ravine. And over millions of years, over a million years, 100,000 years, whatever, and many floods, many storms, it eroded its way through. And I can tell you that because I 100% know that for a fact. I've been there, I've seen it, and I.
So you look at the Grand Canyon. You look at the Grand Canyon, and you see that as the evidence. I look at the Grand Canyon, and I see evidence for the flood.
No.
So you see, there's evidence that we're interpreting differently based on our worldview.
Yeah. But with a flood scenario, you don't get the settlement lines like you get if you get over with the time of erosion.
I'm sorry. Your microphone's cutting out. Can you say that again?
Okay. When the way the Grand Canyon, when you have a massive flood, is that what they were saying? It doesn't.
Your microphone's cutting out. Oh, Bruno needs to smoke pot. I agree.
It might help. It definitely never hurts.
Some people get opposite on the marijuana.
Yeah, it's very rare though, right?
I have a friend. She's like that. She'll get super hyper and like crazy. One time she smoked some pot. And she's like, "My head's growing," and she started like seeping into the chair. She's like, "I need help holding my head up." It was funny.
I don't like being around those people. Those people give weed a bad name.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious.
Like, you ruin it for everybody, man.
Or you just laugh at it. Well, because she was laughing, but also scared, you know?
All right. Back
on that high. It gets like that. Okay, so I'm going to pull up picture because unlike the whales situation, I 100% know how the Grand Canyon was made because basically it's part of my
If you weren't there, you don't know.
I can. And I'd 100% do.
You don't.
Nope, I do. Exactly how I do.
You don't.
Yeah, I do. And you'll see, you'll understand I present it. It's a little bit different than how I try to present the whale, which it was something I kind of read, but I do. I'm pulling the pictures up. In a massive flood, you don't get the settlement lines, which show over time exactly the layers of dirt over time. In a flood situation, it becomes a big mushy mess of crumbled dirt, and there's no such thing as a settlement line in a flood scenario. I'm gonna pull this one up right now. You'll be able to see it.
If you want to screen share, I just learned how to keep your video up.
On the screen, or
yeah, you know how to screen share. Go over to the little green.
I believe I'm doing it right now.
All right, there you go.
Right?
Yeah, you're good.
So in this situation, this is a settlement line. That line, obviously dark and light dirt, that is a settlement line. That's what erosion does. When you get the erosion, it sees that. So over time, the top layer has either eroded over it, or volcanic activity does the same situation. But nonetheless, in a situation just this river has eroded away this side of this hill. Now you can see the erosion line and the settlement line. That does not happen in a mass flood.
Why not?
Because in a mass flood, it's chaotic. There's no, it's not a run over something and then something covers over it and it goes in a nice layer. It becomes a big mesh of sediment at different layers, silt in the middle, silt at the top, silt at the bottom. It's very clear when that happens. You can go to Mount Blue. A lot of creationists try to use lines and it didn't work because in a flood situation, things are tumbling, turbulence, trees are in it, rocks are getting bent up, pushed up everywhere. It's a big jumble of everything. So in situations, that's how we know when mudslides happen. That's how we know where massive mudslides happen, massive erosion happens. And the situation that we're looking at, this is an erosion situation where the river has eroded down into a valley the exact same ways. Which shows us the exact same scenario.
Okay, well, from what I heard, when Mount St. Helens blew, it created a very similar canyon than the Grand Canyon. But I just pulled up. Well, okay, now just disclaimer: when it comes to the Grand Canyon and this thing, we may have to put a pin in it. So I may have to concede to you winning today, but you damn well better come back when I research it more. But I have this article right here. It says, if it's okay if I read it about the Grand Canyon.
Absolutely.
Because I'm thinking it's going to say something about that specifically. Okay. I once believed and taught, like so many others, the rock layers in the Grand Canyon represented stages in evolution laid down over vast eons of time. After leading over 40-week-long backpacking trips through the canyon, studying the rock layers and fossils close up, I'm ready to stake the place out with Bible verses. What I once assumed was a record of a lot of time, now it looks like evidence of a lot of water instead. Actually, the canyon seems to provide an excellent contrast between rocks laid down slowly and gradually on a local scale, and those laid down rapidly, catastrophically on a colossal scale. Evolutionists have argued that fossils bearing rocks were largely laid down in a local flood and or by rivers dumping sediments into lakes or seas. Those processes do build up sediment layers. The Mississippi River, the classic example, is continuing to build up its delta right before our eyes. When the Mississippi is flowing full and fast, often after spring rains and snow melts, gravel is carried relatively far. Later, often during the drier summer seasons, the river slows so that the sand is dumped where gravel was. Then silt on the sand. Such slow and gradual process produce lumpy sediment layers that thicken and thin over short distances and contain virtually no fossils. Actually, the Precambrian sedimentary rock in the inner gorge probably do represent sediment laid down somewhat slowly and gradually, like the Mississippi Delta deposits. These units thicken and thin, disappear, and reappear over short distances, and they contain very few fossils. They don't have the layer cake appearance, deep and wide horizontal bands of fossil-rich rocks. Characteristics of broad and rapid flood deposits. Instead, they have the swirl cake appearance. Lumps of fossils, poor rock, like the sediment layers being produced at the mouth of the Mississippi River right now. To biblical creationist flood geologists, the Precambrian rock at the Grand Canyon looks like pre-flood rocks formed by processes occurring like those today during the many centuries before the flood. Then the flood came. This is a really long article. All right, listen. Are you willing to come back to discuss specifically the Grand Canyon?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I'll have to look into that. Would you send me, if you don't mind, like on Twitter specifically, your argument about that?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. So we'll put a pin on that one. Do you have other proof for evolution? Because that doesn't prove it or disprove it.
No. It definitely proves over 7,000 years.
Well, okay, fine. I'll secede for now until a later point. But do you have other proof for evolution that I can destroy?
I can tell you that. Let me see. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of put that one in my bulk because honestly, that's what I do for a living. So I knew.
Yeah,
I went there.
No, and I've never researched it completely. And normally, people won't put me to task for like the basic overall view of what I've read about creation.
Well, the main issue, because I talked to a lot of people that I don't want to say it. Been talking about that stupid ass video. There's no forest on Earth.
There's no what?
You never heard that one? No forest on Earth.
No.
Okay. Good. That means you don't believe it. There are a lot. There are no. I know you don't because you sound reasonable. There are people on this planet that believe. You know what Devil's Tower is?
No.
It's a huge rock structure in the middle of a desert, or better because they think all of them. Mount Everest, all these big, large rock structures. They believe that these places are old tree stumps.
Oh, I've heard that.
Yeah, I
retweeted one picture of it because I'm like, I wish that were true.
Yeah,
but it'd be kind of cool to imagine there's like these gigantic trees that you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But at the same time, it's just like I went down that road with everyone's like it's all silicone. It's like okay, well you need to understand that that's silica sand. It has like reverse processing how sand and rock work.
Don't they also think it's like used to give power out, like energy?
So it does in a way. So
I'll be right back.
It's the way silica is and the structure it has. It's able to carry what's it called? We'll just say a type of energy because I don't remember the word off the top of my head. So that was the reason based on it. So basically, like salt water. Like the bonsai trees in Japan, like can use salt water and live.
Okay.
It's almost that type of energy. It's not like
a current.
Yeah, no, it's not like a light current, but it's like the silica can. I don't even know how to explain it. It's so far fetched. It's not something that I have implanted in my head to explain. But the problem with that is that the rock, wind and rain, and all that, as it breaks down and becomes sand, then becomes our sand dunes in the deserts. The process does not reverse, and for all these mountains to be old tree stumps, the process would have to reverse, and it doesn't make sense. Mount Everest would have to have been buried for thousands of years to become petrified, and that's not what you don't understand.
So isn't this one of those conspiracies that don't you feel silly even debunking it?
I feel silly debunking that because that is, like I said, there is no process known to man or even a smidget of that fallacy that could possibly be true. Mount Everest, like if they were like Devil's Tower and maybe this other one, but they literally believe all rock is petrified wood. In realization, you can split both of them and clearly see that rock does not have the same cell pattern as a tree does, even as a petrified one. It's like they kind of forget the fact to make petrified wood. It's kind of got to be sealed, airtight almost.
All right, so are you still fighting evolution?
Oh no.
I'm okay with continuing to fight.
That's what I'm saying.
Another point. Do you have anything else?
I think I was looking for something, and I think I kind of got sidetracked by that tree thing because it just it's one of those things that really aggravates the shit out of me. Actually, I do. I have one more thing. This is actually a study they've done. They started in the 1970s using lizards. This is by far probably the clearest case of evolution, based on the fact that they've proven it.
Is this going to be about the lizards that bred so far and different that the original lizard couldn't breed with the first starting one?
Yes and no. It was actually two separate lizards put on a single island, and over 30 years. I'm not sure. It's the Italian wall lizards.
See, and I believe, like, to the creationists, that's not an issue for us. Like it's not good that these two species that are the same species can't breed with each other, but they're still a lizard. Because we believe that there's we believe variation within species.
Evolution, but term evolution doesn't mean it becomes something else.
No, and I believe in variation within. I believe in variation within species.
Okay. So I mean, but the after 30 years, what happened is evolution, though.
Yeah, but I believe it's not necessarily beneficial, and nothing new was added to the lizard. It just they couldn't breed with the original one, so they're saying it's a different species now.
No,
but we don't creationists don't necessarily categorize species that way.
But see, that's not the. I get what you're saying, but that was by far not the only thing that they've evaluated from this. Everything from their eating patterns to their head structures to their intestinal.
But it was all within their genetic information to create that based on the environment and what the babies were able to survive under. So that was genetic information that was originally there. It wasn't like added in.
That's evolution. Because what you're saying is if you put these two lizards on the island separate of each other and they had never met, the same outcome would have happened. But that's not the case.
Well, I mean, that's interesting that they develop differently, but it doesn't prove evolution because, once again, it's not adding in new genetic information. It's not like all of a sudden one lizard was starting to grow wings into a different species. You know what I mean? Like, okay, listen, the two lizards on the same island. Yeah, it's weird that they would develop differently because they're on the same island, but it's not like what made them develop differently was in their genetics to do so. You know what I mean? There was no added information.
But that's the thing. So the best way I can explain it is if I don't know. This is probably the only thing that popped in my head. So how. Oh,
and by the way, them developing different is a problem for evolution too. I would think, because we figured that variation within the species happens because of environment, right?
No, what you're thinking is that adaptation. So that be like they had to or they die.
Yeah. So reality, do they know what caused them to develop differently?
Yeah, they started eating differently. They started being able to handle different foods. They started growing.
Did they know why? That these two lizards that were the same? You said they were the same?
They were they're the same species from different islands. And they put them on a single island. So they had different.
Okay. Oh, and they winded up developing the same patterns, the same eating patterns and stuff.
It became a different lizard almost. So it had their skull structures became bigger. Their head sizes and shape increased, bite strength, development of new structures in the lizard's digestive tracts, and noted over a 36-year study in which extremely short scale. Professors of biology of the University of Massachusetts, their physical changes have occurred side by side dramatically, and population density and social structure. So that means basically, or I don't really have to say, but as what I'm reading, it's they're everything from their head size to shape, the bite strength, their speed, their method of hunting, the social networking they had, it all changed, which in my opinion would show pure evolution based on the fact that they improved in themselves and became a complete, they're different from the lizards that started.
Yeah, okay. Now, hold on a minute. The two lizards that came from two different islands were two different types of lizards that had
they were both
the same. Okay.
Same genetic backgrounds, but one was an Italian wall lizard, the other, it was a pod marqueux and a pod. I can't even say the other one. Basically, it'd be like, I don't even know how to explain. They're the same species of lizard, I guess.
But they were adapted to different environments, and then they put them on the same
Exactly.
environment, and they conform to their new environment.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
that's still that was in their genetic information to do that.
But see, that's like saying I've lived in a city all my life. I moved to the mountains, and I've adapted to living there. That's what you're saying. But what I'm saying is that if I
I'm saying like Asian people migrated to the Americas, and over so much time, because they were in a different spot where the equator was, they got darker skin.
that's adapting too, because it's not.
I know.
It's not.
Yeah, okay, but you're telling me that they evolved. What I mean, are they saying that there was new genetic information, or it was in their genome to create these? See, when a lizard produces a baby, the babies that will survive are the ones that are more adapted to the new environment. So over a period of time, yeah, but that doesn't prove evolution, because you got to get from one species to another. Creationists believe that there are different variations within the same species. We believe God created species to be incredible like that we could adapt to different environments.
But to adapt to an environment doesn't mean your whole your body structure would have to change. So if
it does. I mean, humans all were somewhat the same, and we have different body structures now based on where we were from what we needed. In Europe, you had like crazy snow and I guess like mountainous regions, and in Asia, I don't know, something that created them to be short.
No, I get it. Like in Peru, their lungs are actually stronger, their blood is thicker, stuff like that.
Yeah, it was in their genetic information though to do that. It was a narrowing in of it, I guess.
Okay. But so if I went to the mountains and I decided, okay, all I have is pine trees to eat. As a human, I can't eat only pine needles or pine bark because it actually has poison in it. But to evolve is that if I started eating those or lightly eating those, and over time I had 3 or 4, I had an offspring, then they had an offspring, and they had an offspring, and over that time their stomachs became, formed a second wall, so to speak, and all of a sudden now their intestines were able to break down pine. That's evolving. That's not.
Well, okay, Eskimos, they have this delicacy where they take, I think, like a shark fin, and they put it in the snow for a year, and it's a delicacy for them, but there's botulism in it. So non-Eskimos, if they eat it, they could die, but their children, Eskimo children, can eat it because they're adapted to it. I guess they have whatever they need to process that. See, it doesn't prove evolution, because once again, I believe like within the species can change, but still it's still a lizard. You're not going to get a bird from a lizard.
But do the Eskimo stomach structure change, or do the
I guess
enzymes
the enzymes. So I mean, it doesn't.
That's adapting.
But I believe the lizards. But the lizards in your scenario in the study, they also adapted to their new environment.
It says they're. If I'm striking, their head size, the shape, increased bite strength, development of new structures in the lizard's tongue-tied. Intestinal tract. So that's saying it changed. It became a different digestive tract to be able to take on different foods. So that'd be like saying the Eskimos have a different intestinal tract to be able to eat that and not die. But all in reality it is that their enzymes have strengthened to be able to eat that.
Okay, what study was this?
The lizard one you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's lizard undergo. It's what? I don't see his damn name, and I don't know how to pronounce it. And I've had this page on here so long. It's a university by the university. Lizard undergo replicating. Damn, what the fuck is it called? Here, let me do this because I literally had this on forever and I have no clue. Oh, there it is. Okay. This will make life so much easier. Science Daily, University of Massachusetts study from 2008. I can put the link in the chat if you would like. Make it a little easier.
No, I need. Let's see here. What's the name of the study?
What I have written down is the Linsky Project of Evolution. LANSKI. But I didn't want to say that name because I didn't see it here right off the bat.
Okay, what's it called again?
LANSKI Project Evolution. I just like to say I'm very proud of myself. I have not looked at the chat once. I'm not sure if
I'm sure you have a lot of supporters for evolution.
No, actually I don't. I roll with a flat earth.
Oh, here. No, here you do.
Surprisingly, not like I thought.
Really? Ooh, yay, chat.
Of course, Bruno's
Woo-hoo.
doing his thing against him, but it's Bruno.
Also, the new guy. No one wants to deal. No one wants to hear me.
No, new voices are good.
Actually, I'm not in the chat area, so I can't.
Is it called the Rate Project?
Excuse me?
Is it called the Rate Project?
Like I said, let me.
Like, is there a second name for it?
Are we saying rape?
No, God.
No, honestly, the very first time I thought she said that.
No.
I was like, excuse me? I don't think I looked that up. It is called.
No, that's not it. Let's see.
Like I said, I looked this up like 5-6 months ago, so like I don't even remember where I found it, but I had it. I know I did. I'm pretty sure I was saying here.
Yeah, I'm not pulling it up here.
Time was introduced. I honestly think it was just study by the university, and because of the time, it was just multiple scientists. I don't think they credited it to one, but it definitely should say what they.
Was it lizards or was it snakes?
Lizards.
Well, I'm afraid you can't earn that point without the actual article proving that such a study
Well, then
was
I will
conducted.
not. I will not talk until I find it.
Okay. Very good. Very good.
So we got a long intermission.
I hope not.
Oh wow,
pretty
Clinton's
simple.
illegitimate son died. That's sad.
Who?
Clinton's illegitimate son.
Like
That's what
Bill
Bruno's saying.
or
Really? The guy
That's
that
what
kept
Bruno's
on
saying.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so did he ever actually prove it, or?
I don't know.
So I remember that guy coming around.
I imagine that guy probably has a ton of illegitimate children out there.
I wonder what Monica Lewinsky's doing.
She's doing well.
Is she?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's all fabulous now on Twitter and sells handbags and shit like that.
She's still doing that? Oh,
I think so.
it was so
She's
ugly.
got a lot of supporters. I don't know.
Why?
Well, come on. She was so young. And she was, oh my God, just attacked. And it's like, I don't know.
Attack? Come on, you don't know.
Yeah, brutally
You don't know
attacked.
that. Brutally
No, on the media and stuff. I'm not saying like she was so young. Come on. I mean, and then there's like the power of like the president. Like she shouldn't like
poor
have
lady.
a life. Well, you shouldn't have like a full life of just like condemnation
No.
for some, and Hillary is like 10 times the bitch that, Lewinsky was.
Yeah, I
She's
really
an
don't.
evil bitch.
I don't understand why that was such a big deal.
Well, to me, what was the big deal about it was that he lied to us.
Well, right, I get that part, but
Yeah.
This is the study name. It is.
you just hate Clinton. You're like a
Clinton's
Republican.
terrible. Evil.
That is the name. It's Parcius or whatever the hell it is. But that's the name of the study, though. It's in the chat part. And it's even in the research areas and the reference areas. So, for the most part, that is the name of the study.
I'm sorry, what's it called?
I don't know how to pronounce it. It's in the chat right there, off to the side. But for the main part, it's credited by 15 different scientists, though.
I'm not seeing it in the chat.
In the Hangout chat.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's talking about the Google Plus. Chat.
Oh, I don't know how to access that.
Yeah, we don't know how to work that thing. I don't know how you work it.
To the left, there should be a blue box.
Yeah.
I'm on my phone.
And if you hit that, okay, yeah, I don't think you'll be able to then. PO pod or let me go back to that thing so I can pronounce it.
Well, we could put a pin on this one too. Send me the link for this one as well as the Grand Canyon argument.
Okay. And you want me to send that to your
Twitter?
Okay, perfect.
Which is Beautiful Bizarre. Oh, Bizarre. Yeah, Bizarre.
Okay. I'll get it through. I'll get it through. Find it. I'll find it. I'll find it and I'll send it to you. No problem. God damn it. Someone is trying to get me on Google Hangouts and I made it very clear. All right. I have a really crappy Chromebook, so everything kind of slows down when I go. So I gotta. I can send you the one study right away, but I kind of got to compile my stuff for the Grand Canyon one.
Yeah, okay. Like, I just figure, like, the next live stream or some other live stream.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We shall reconvene.
Yes, definitely.
And I shall destroy your preconceived notions.
Yeah, I'll come back with some well facts.
Yeah, typically I can just be like, that's not true, because blah, blah, blah. Normally no one ever puts me to task, so I guess I gotta learn some stuff. Sharpen my tools.
When I came in, you're like, Cynic, you should kind of want to have an idea what I'm going up against and everything. I was like, hey, if he would have told you I did surveying and construction and everything, it may have made a little difference.
Well, no, I asked him if there was anything in particular you were going to bring up, but I don't think he knew.
No, yeah, we hadn't talked about like what the exact points. It was just basic, matter of fact, I think I asked him, and he didn't. I don't even know if he sent me the message saying that you were what type of creationist you were, or yeah, he didn't even answer me about it.
I didn't know there was a difference. It's evolution or not.
No, there's like at least 10 different ones, right?
Oh yeah, there's like the gap theorists.
Yeah,
where they believe in like the Earth evolved, the universe evolved, but humans didn't. And yeah, there's a whole world.
That's crazy. We didn't stick with the crazy ones.
Huh?
I don't count those.
See, I think of all of them, I think yours, Jessica, is by far the most reasonable.
Well, thank you.
The other ones are just
I do as well. I do as well.
because like you have that, I believe, but I have to like there is science involved. There is science somewhere in there, but the other ones are just like, nope, God did it, and that is all there is to it.
Oh, the funniest ones that believe that like dinosaur bones were buried by Satan to confuse.
Yeah, those. See, right now I'm at the point where like I believe there were dinosaurs. Because I do go hang out with a lot of flat earthers, and I do consider myself one. What happens is they really hate the term dinosaurs and gravity, so I had to work my way around those things. So instead of calling them dinosaurs, I call them ancient animals.
Okay, there you go.
They seem to be okay with that one.
Oh, come
Dragons.
on, really? Dinosaur triggers people?
What do they think the dinosaur fossils are? Because they don't necessarily believe in Satan, right?
Fake.
Huh?
It's fake.
Just by our government? Like our government just lied?
Yeah, well, unless it's out of them, they don't believe that because they've only found a hip or like 4/10 of a complete fossil of a complete animal that there's no way possible they can know what that is. They believe they pretty much need the whole thing to say that is anything. And then dinosaurs completely don't exist. That just never happened.
Well, we have full woolly mammoths, don't we?
Yeah, but if you look at it that way, woolly mammoths didn't live millions of years ago, though. They've only been around, I think, in the first, I said 1.5 million could possibly be the oldest mammoth they've ever found, I think. I'm not saying sure.
So they don't have a problem with 1 million. What's the number they have a problem with?
Dinosaurs.
But they don't have a number like how old the Earth is?
Some do, some don't, depends on, because it's the same thing with different creationists. Some that that believe solely off the Bible. They don't believe dinosaurs ever exist because the Earth is not that old. Scientists carbon dating or radio dating actually now pinpointed it around 4.5 billion years, and to them that is as far-fetched as all shit. So
You're a flat earther.
I am what they consider and I consider on the fence. So I have a lot of views that are still very much so globe, but I have observances like the road. Remember the road situation? That was that's an observance that I can prove isn't needed through that. But at the same time, there are things that just don't make sense without. I believe satellites. They do not believe satellites. I believe rockets in low orbit space. They do not. Most of them do not. Some of them do.
What about the sun being on one side of the planet and the moon being on the other side of the planet?
Here, we'll see that. See, here's the thing. So it's kind of like what Jessica was saying to me about the whales. You believe the whales have this hip bone and they used to be legs because they told you so. Well, NASA told them that this is this way and this way. Well, they have every reason to think that this could not be true. Here, what else could be the possibility of it?
Well, they could call somebody on the other side of the planet while it's daylight and say, hey, could you show me outside? And they show it, well, it's dark.
And the problem, so I don't know enough about the astrology to really give you the reason 100% behind it. Because like I said, I'm what I consider a newbie flat earther. There are certain areas I can definitely explain, but there's so much that I'm still learning and trying to figure out for both sides that I'm very, very quick to let you know, hey, I'm not an expert there. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. But as to that, but with the sun and the moon and all that stuff, they actually have videos and pictures. A guy, very well-respected flat earther, D. Marble, he had a couple buddies that lives in Australia and the UK, and he's in Seattle. So obviously, the distance between all three of them is kind of, it's a very large distance. They all had the sun in their views, and situations like that kind of make you go,
Well, come on. There's a lot more people that can go outside and show you. It's when you get people that want you to believe, and then they show you this thing that they did, I go, let me talk to someone who doesn't really care.
But he has video. He live streamed and has the video of the phone calls and the pictures of the sun all simultaneously. So I mean, it's not one of those. Here, I edited this and I put this here. It's very.
And
very,
the sun's position was where?
At sunrise. So the sun was just sunrise.
So all three of them were sunrise?
No. One was overhead and one was just before sunset.
Okay, so one was in Seattle. So, and where's the furthest one?
UK and Australia.
Oh yeah, the UK. That one, that's definitely.
And it's a credible live stream. It's not one of those, you know, I made this video, now check it out. You know, it's like pop here, look, see, it's the live stream. He shows his phone, their phones. You know, you can see their image on his phone.
Well, it's 4,500 miles from North America to Europe, or from Seattle to the UK. I mean.
Well, if you want to do it even easier and better, just pop up Google Earth and come all the way out. And if you see Australia, for that to work, you'd have to see all of them. You know what I mean? All three.
Well, no, because the position of the sun could. I mean, it might have been one of those anomalies. I'm telling you, that's not a daily thing. And
like I said, I don't know enough.
So how do I know that one of them isn't actually in Texas and the other one's in California?
If I remember correctly, I don't remember the video enough to 100% tell you how. I know for a fact that the main source of the guy, he is in Seattle. He's proven that over.
Well, right, he could buy a plane ticket though that day and fly.
No. It's credible. It's not one of those type of things, and he's a very credible guy. I think I tried to explain to you about the eclipse, how NASA did the foolery with the eclipse, messed it up and all that stuff.
NASA, wait, what? You don't believe in the solar eclipse?
So I don't understand enough about it to believe or disbelieve, but I know what they believe. So when before the eclipse happened, because it was the first time in I think 100 years that the United States would have the full totality of it. And the shadow, what happened is NASA came out with this video, and literally, I think I told you about this. And NASA, they were like, "What's going on with why is the shadow going the opposite way of the moon and all this stuff?" And NASA literally made a video explaining it. And in the video, they said, "We don't know why it's happening. We'll be able to explain it in a few months." And that was literally what they said.
Well, that's okay. Well, they're scientists. I mean, give them the credit that they're going to look. They don't just say this is why. Have you seen Professor Stick?
But here's the problem. Oh yeah, I love that guy. That guy's fucking awesome.
Oh really?
But here's the problem.
Ah.
To have NASA not be able to explain to you how an eclipse works is a funny situation, especially when you don't already trust them.
Well, is it a funny situation? Okay. I don't know what the actual question. I don't understand the question. Probably.
I don't believe we went to the moon.
Really? See the one. Okay, this is kind of a good one because there is that possibility of, well, we were racing the Russians, and for some reason it was important for us to get there. I didn't understand why it was important, but it was very important. So
realistically, in my opinion, it was if you can get to space, you can figure out how to get your nukes up and down. And remember, the fastest way to get a missile or anything to anywhere is to get to outer orbit or get into orbit and then come back down, rather than be in the atmosphere traveling across somewhere.
Yeah, but they never did that.
Oh, they do it all the time. SR-71. That's our SR-71. That's how the SR-71 travels. It goes out. It goes into very, very. I mean, it's in the atmosphere.
Okay. You're talking about a plane. Yeah. No. But if we went to outer space, we'd put a machine out there that would hold our. I mean, you wouldn't even need nukes if you use gravity. You
Oh
probably
no,
just throw some
That's
kind of chunk at them.
no. If we let's just say hypothetically we went to war with Russia right now, we would 100% shoot our nukes into low orbit space, and it would come down that. And that's what to me the space race was. It was who can get to that point first. The issue is if you haven't been up there first, how do you know what's going to happen when you do this?
Oh, yeah, they were shooting nukes off in the atmosphere for years.
Oh, yeah, well, that's why.
Like fucking morons.
But see, the thing is if you shoot when they started the study, obviously they don't know what the rocket can handle because re-entry is a bitch.
Yeah.
Period. No matter what happens. So a lot of the nukes actually went off during re-entry. And as far as a flat Earth is concerned, that's a firmament. It hit something.
Oh,
Personally,
really?
I don't believe in the dome because obviously if I believe satellites and rockets, I can't believe there's a dome there.
Yeah.
So like I said,
you can see a satellite.
But here's the problem. You can't get a clear picture of a satellite. So that could be anything, really. I mean,
no, I think
so like that.
I want to disagree and say, yeah, I think you can. I was just talking to my stepdad about it because he does a lot of this kind of stuff. He has huge ass telescopes. But yeah,
he said,
I'll ask him.
You can get a yeah, because the issue is you can't get a clear like the space station up there. First of all, it's traveling at 17,000 miles an hour through space, circumnavigating.
Yeah, but they know where it is like every 4 hours. I remember him talking about this.
You can track it. You can go online and track it and find out where it's at. The problem is remember, I believe in it. I believe in satellites and all that stuff. You still can't get a clear picture of it. Every picture will be one of those squiggly ones, but the only people that can are NASA.
Okay, you might not be able to take like a photo of it, but you can look at it like in real time.
Be ready for the 4.5 seconds of your life.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's flying by. No. I understand that. But you want to prove it to them. I mean, can't they just... I don't think a lot of these people want to be... They don't want their idea to be disproven, so they don't really look into things like this.
But even in a... excuse me. Even in a telescope, like a really good telescope, like I'm sure your stepdad, you said? Stepdad? Or dad? Yeah. Okay, stepdad. Even his really good telescope, he's not seeing the space station. He's seeing the lit side of it, and it's doing 17,000. So it's a spot in the sky that he sees. It's not. He's not really seeing the solar panels and the main structure of it. It doesn't.
Really right. Yeah, right. You don't see that, but we do have cameras up in space looking at Earth.
Okay, so actually last night I got into this. So on the what's his name? Hanawa or something 8. This is a Japanese satellite that's supposed to be pointed at Earth, taking pictures every 10 seconds. So if you go on their website, even still, they still have an animated Google Earth version of what Earth looks like. It's still not pictures of. It's not a picture of Earth, and it's supposed to be.
Well, we know we got satellite photos. We know that. I can look at my house and see my car, and
yeah, but you don't need to be in the middle of space to see that.
Well, when you start off from the... So, wait a minute. Are you saying that the NASA live feed isn't like real?
Exactly. Well,
oh boy.
So,
is everything that NASA does a lie? You guys, flat Earth people, really seem to hate NASA. I see this a lot.
Because well, imagine who do you get any of your space information from?
My stepdad. Where does he get it from? I have no idea.
That was good. I like that. That was a good one. I expected you to say NASA, but realistically, it's the best way I can explain it is if you got a girl and she lies to you 4 times, or the 5th time, are you going to believe her?
Well, but it's like science and outer space and really difficult stuff. So maybe they did lie about something, but it wasn't like they really, did they get anything out of it? Like, what lie
Yeah.
did you hate that it was like, okay, that's fucked up?
The moon landing, by far.
And what part of the moon? But you can't prove that it's not real, or it didn't happen.
Absolutely, I 100% can, and I'll show you right now.
The problem is because you're going. Okay, are you going to show like pictures that NASA used that were later on?
This is 100% most likely going to be illustration that I'm going to pull up because first of all, you can't physically see what I'm going to show you right now.
Okay.
You'll see. It'll make sense in a second. Hang on.
Okay.
So
I looked into the moon landing thing. It was years ago, but Joe Rogan and Neil deGrasse Tyson had a convo about it.
Oh, dude, yeah, that Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's like enemy number one to every flat earther.
Yeah, they hate that guy. I like Neil. Like, why do you hate Neil?
As far as I'm concerned, he's obviously a brilliant man. The problem is he is paid by government to basically say what he says. So you see the picture I have?
Yeah.
Okay, so this blue area, the green and red, is the Van Allen radiation belt.
Are you saying okay?
To get to the moon, you obviously have to get through this area.
Yep.
Now, they say so. NASA says they went through it, and they're asked Apollo 11 and all the Apollo missions, and all their astronauts are fine. Then at one point they said, no, we didn't go through it. We went. Can you see my cursor?
Yeah.
We went up and over, right? And then I went to a NASA site for the Apollo missions when they in this document and diagram or whatever you call it is from NASA. And the problem with their version of it, I don't want everyone knowing all my files and shit.
Yeah, I'm always worried about screen sharing because of that too.
Yeah,
because I'm not smart enough to realize what I did.
Oh, I've learned my lesson. Trust me. Never mind. Just you. After you mess up the first time, you don't do it again. I found an older document showing the path of Apollo missions, which definitely was not above the radiation belt. And then in the same document, it shows basically, the radiation levels inside the belt, and it's ridiculous. It's like,
well, I've actually heard this before, and this is what I heard the reaction to this is that they went. They had to go through it, but they went through the shallowest part that they could, and that they originally went up like you said. They were trying to. They would want to go over it, but you can't. So they had to go through. But the radiation wasn't intense enough to get through whatever they built the spaceship out of, and that there's been many things that they put through there.
The problem with that is that they haven't. So they did this in 1961.
Wait, you can't just say they haven't.
Oh no!
That's not
NASA says they. No, 100%. Since Apollo, NASA says they have not sent anybody through that radiation belt. Period. NASA.
Oh yeah, because they haven't gone to the moon.
Yeah, they haven't gone. They haven't gone out of low orbit space since the 60s.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, a human has not. Is better to say, because they do send satellites. They don't believe in satellites.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm pulling it up right now.
So I mean, that doesn't mean they're lying.
This is the Apollo trajectory when they went to the moon. Clearly, they're not going up around the North Pole. You can see, United States. You see the line. So, excuse me. Take off, make their loop, and then they have to do that slingshot.
Yeah.
To be able to get there. But to do what this says from the document I got it from, they would literally have to go right through the middle. And even if this was a little off, they're still not going up through the top of the Earth to get over that radiation belt.
I have no idea. I don't. I mean, that was just a picture. I mean, really, that was just a picture that you showed me. I don't.
No. But you know,
I have to.
Like I said, you have to do your own research. I'm not an expert, so no one should be writing a book on me or what I say about it.
Are you suggesting because you don't think they can go through the belt is why they didn't go to the moon?
Yes. I think the radiation levels are way too. It's like 300 rad or something like that. If you look at like a radiation bar level that tells you all the measurements of everything from microwaves to X-ray machines to anything that has radiation involved at all into it, 300 rad is like 500 times any nuclear power plant we have.
Right, but they're not going through with their bare skin. It's and you're gonna, and that's gonna be like the worst of the worst. It's not all like that, is it?
No, just where the red is, and then where that red is gets thin. It's obviously less, and then as you go out further and further, it gets a little bit less. But to get out there, they may have done 17, 18, or whatever it says the speed they made it. But with that slingshot coming back, they couldn't have possibly gone anywhere near the speed that they did coming out. So they were in that radiation zone for at least 3 times as long.
Are you willing to admit that you're not a scientist and maybe your calculations are off?
100,000%. Like I said,
okay.
I'm a study of everything. I don't say, I'm not telling anybody, hey, it's flat, period, shut up, don't talk to me. It's a globe, shut up. I am studying, research everything I can, and that's what I'm doing. That's all I'm about right now.
It's just when you talk, you're like absolutely certain that they cannot get through this, so there's no way they went to the moon, therefore the hoax.
Based on my research that I've personally done, and from what I've come of it, like I said, from what I've come of it, there's no way they could have to me. If I could 100%, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, scientifically prove it, I would have already published my book and got my Nobel Prize. So it's like I said, it's anything I'm saying.
I don't know what I do. Did he just disappear? He just disappeared. Jessica, are you just gone? Are you done with me?
I'm here.
Oh.
He's back.
I'm completely computer literate, so I completely just was like, hey, that's it.
Well, the funny thing is I hit something just as you disappeared, and I thought I kicked you out.
Oh, 100% me. 100% me.
Jessica, do we go to the moon?
I think we went to the moon, but I wouldn't be so shocked if we didn't.
Really?
Well,
and you'd be surprised. Most people,
it's kind of like what you said. Like, yeah, we were fighting with Russia, so like, it's not like the government wouldn't lie about something like that. But like, yeah, why didn't we go to the moon? Why not? I believe in science.
Russia's like, yeah, they got there.
The foothold for me is.
All I'm saying is like, I wouldn't be shocked if we didn't, but I believe we did. And I think it was really shitty that the Russians sent that dog up there. Monsters.
I don't know if it's true or not, 100%, but from what I've heard, and they have recordings, whether or not they're 100% true, Russia supposedly had like 2 or 3 astronauts die up there, and they just were like whatever, and then covered them up.
I can see that. I can totally see that.
Those damn Russies.
Hey, they don't fuck around. They're tough fuckers too.
Their President Putin's like a ninja or something.
Oh yeah, he's skilled in very many martial arts. It is crazy. He's an assassin, literally. He could kill anybody.
Literally an assassin.
Yeah. He's pretty badass. It's kind of like, aw.
He's like
a badass leader.
Like, I'm pretty sure if he took his shirt off, he's swole. It's crazy. Yeah, it ain't no joke.
He gets his shirt off a lot. It's a little disturbing at this point.
Hey,
they put your shirt on, dude.
You know?
Cold.
The Russians are like that, though. They're very proudful.
Every time I watch,
You know what? I don't blame them. I don't blame them. You put a lot of work into yourself. You know, you want to show it off.
Yeah, he got to be like
Exactly.
60.
My favorite, though, is the meme of him on the bear.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that? and then they redid it when Trump won, and Trump was on the back, like they were
Yeah.
riding together on the bear. It was terrible,
Well, that's just
but so funny.
Yeah.
It was fucking funny.
Even the whole Russia, Trump, all that stuff. How can you have anything the government does is there's a reason for not believing them. As far as I'm concerned, Trump is just the look at me guy.
Yeah, I don't think.
Wait, what was that about Trump? What? Huh?
Trump is just the look at me guy. Basically, you know, the American public look at me. He's tweeting all the time. He has those really tiny T-Rex hands. You know, grab him by the.
I have a lot of hope for Trump.
I do too, based on the fact that it is a change. But when you really think about it, do you really believe the United States president is the top dog in what goes on in America?
He makes
kinda
a lot
like
of
this-
rules.
Yeah, I mean, it's one
Like
of those
the old-
things. Like, if there were a deep state, I wouldn't be so shocked.
Oh, there is Illuminati, all those.
I'm not saying I
those things-
definitely believe it. I'm just saying I wouldn't be shocked.
Well, Bilderberg, that's 100% fact. As a matter of fact, there are many news organizations that go to the Bilderberg meetups every year, and you see all these dignitaries and government officials walking out, and some of them even interview. And then, yeah, it's real. That part is 100% real. The
Yeah,
Rothschild.
it's just people getting together trying to figure out the better world.
So you're telling me billionaires get together, people with extreme power get together and go, hey, how are we going to make this better?
Yes.
Because you know Hillary Clinton's part of this, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. They're doing
That's-
something right because we got internet and lights, and my refrigerator got food in it, and
It's something
I
right.
got a car to
Wow.
drive around. We didn't have that shit before.
You do realize how high our poverty is, right? You know,
There's a billion people less today in poverty than there was 100 years ago. Billion.
But we are unsustainable right now as far as food production goes and the population.
Well, if the population keeps growing, stop having kids, damn it.
oh,
No,
here's a better-
all it would take is for food production to halt for whatever reason, and you'd have massive death.
You
Yeah,
know,
but that's
you know, you realize that America is no longer a superpower, and it's not just me saying it or conspiracy. China is more powerful than we are.
in aspects.
No, in military, no. But when it comes to the money, the trade, what is it, infrastructure?
Yeah, but
they're
people.
far past us.
Yeah, but there are people are ready to take them over.
Oh, it doesn't matter. They're still the superpower right now, regardless.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of superpowers. Russia's a superpower.
No, but there can only be one. Remember when we used to walk
That'd be a
around going,
supreme power.
okay, fine. You remember when we used to walk around saying that? Okay, America, even the government can no longer say that. They do not say it.
I'd take America over any other country. We'd win.
I think we owe in the trillions.
Yeah, but we do have the our military is like vastly larger than anybody else, and I think that's all that really matters. At the
Come
end
and
of the
get
day.
the money.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to know what happens if we don't go to war? We go bankrupt. We go just like the food shortage.
What?
Same-
No. We don't go bankrupt.
Really? Are you sure about that? So think about
Yes, I'm sure about that.
weapons, the ammunition for those weapons, the tanks, every single thing that has to do with a war. If it didn't happen, all those jobs go away.
Right, that's a sector. That's just a sector, though.
That's the largest sector that America has.
No, there's a lot of jobs, man. There's a lot of things to
Yeah.
do. And if we're not
Yeah, I
at
think there's a
war,
lot-
we're probably going to be building something. So we need people to build shit.
Yeah, that's part of it too. Rebuilding. Who do you think rebuilds Iraq? Who do you think rebuilds Vietnam? All those. Who do you think rebuilds? We do. If we don't have to destroy, we can't rebuild. That's a whole nother industry that's gone.
Really, you think? Oh, wait a minute. You think America runs off of war on rebuilding and making bullets,
Absolutely.
and the jobs that would be lost from that would cripple America?
Name one time we haven't been to war. We have not been in
Many
it.
years that I was alive, we weren't at war.
Wow. What? So when were you born? I don't know if you want to say.
Well, no, throughout the 80s we were good. The 90s we were, well, until Desert Storm, but that was pretty fucking short.
So
And then 9/11 happened, and then, you know, we've been in shit since. But it's not even wars. We're not at war.
oh, we've been at war.
No, it's like occupying at this point. A war is different.
I need to say something.
Okay, it says America has been. This is from the Washington blog. America has been at war 93% of the time. 222 out of the 239 years.
Bullshit. I'll call bullshit on it.
Okay.
What do they consider a war?
What do you consider war?
A war, an actual war. Like we declare war on you.
Okay, well, you got to also remember, we don't have to declare war on anybody to be involved in a war. Two countries can be, and we can be backing one and supplying them or supplying troops to them.
Okay, you could even add, but that's not us being in a war.
It's as long as we're involved in a war, whether it's ours or someone else's, it's being at war.
Oh, stop it! That's reaching. None of our people are on the ground.
Okay.
All we're doing is selling our tanks and bullets to these people.
Okay, so who makes those tanks and bullets?
We do, and then we sell it to them.
Who makes them though? We do. So if we're not involved in the war, and no one's making tanks or bullets.
Really, you think we make that many tanks for them? For what? For who? Africa?
Okay. You know why Afghanistan is such an issue for us, right?
Well, I have no idea why you think it's an issue for us.
Because the weapons and everything they have are either Russian or from us.
No, it's the terrain, but
no. Check.
Yeah, the Afghanistan warriors will go will go into the fucking mountains, and it's hard for us to go get them.
Yeah, but we're America. We have the technology is insane.
Well, yeah, we could blow up a mountain, but we're not going to do that.
We should. Remember when Afghanistan went to war with Russia?
What's that?
When Afghanistan went to war with Russia?
Yeah.
Who do you think supplied Afghanistan?
Yes. But you're trying to, dude, there's a lot of, you're telling me there's no other jobs that people can do? Nobody can build cars or roads? Really? There's no roads to be built. There's no bridges to be made. There's no toys to be made.
The next time I come back, I will have those numbers because I can't tell you the exact numbers, but I can definitely tell you I will come back with the numbers that are factual numbers that will 100% prove to you that if we are not at war, I'm going to say 45% of America is screwed.
45% of jobs in America are building tanks and
45%. Absolutely. And rebuild it.
Go find it.
Rebuilding. Because remember, that's a whole other industry. Rebuilding the places that.
Yeah, go show me how many places. It's like not Kiewit.
Like I said, I don't know the numbers, so I don't want to just go too far into this. But I will 100% look it up and get the numbers for you.
Yeah, look at the actual worker force, not the dollars. The worker force because you got like Boeing that does a lot of military stuff, but they also make a lot of other stuff. It's not like if they stop making, they're going to stop making planes.
But they don't. I promise you, they make more jets, helicopter engines than they do any kind of airliners. You don't see a new airliner every year.
What? Yeah, they're always making planes, buddy.
No, but they're not make. How many? How many does? See,
I don't know.
Those are the type of numbers. Those are the type of numbers I need to actually go into to make this actually a super our actual conversation to be had. Because either one of us know the actual numbers, so we're just going back and forth on what we believe. You know what I mean? Like I believe I need to find the numbers to be for this to make any factual sense.
Not Bowman. Who am I looking up?
You can Boeing or look up
Boeing. Jesus Christ, that was stupid.
Look up Boeing's military contracts or something like that.
How bad is it though?
Airbus sold more planes than Boeing even did. So there's even another company.
Oh no, there's multiple companies that work for
900 deliveries per year, but I don't know if that's military and
maybe Boeing's military contract or something.
yeah, and it's giving me a number, but it's not. It's not separating.
I'm eating.
It's making 900 planes a year.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
military.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. I'd rather have the factual numbers than us going back like that, because that's if we're gonna just instantly look for something.
No, I'm just right. Stop acting like I'm wrong. Just say, yeah, you're right. We're done with the conversation.
No, I can't do it. Can't do it.
You suck,
Jessica. You got me with that whale, but no.
I did. I sure did.
That was a good one. I'll give it to her.
Military one. Sorry, man. Can't give it to you. I'm more than willing to exceed when I just can't.
I see a lot of jobs and they're not military jobs.
Yeah,
maybe I look weird.
Well, you'd be surprised. You'd definitely be surprised, because you got to also remember, just because they're military job doesn't mean military only. For instance, I worked on Camp Pendleton for 14 years, and I wasn't military. I was civilian.
Yeah,
a civilian contract.
Yeah, that's true.
We had 25 guys, and we were a small company. So, I mean, there are people contracted by the military that don't even go on a military base to work.
So, do you believe in like the Illuminati and music and trying to change the culture?
Oh yeah, absolutely. MK Ultra, that's 100% real. It's in the release documents that the government had to release.
It's real as in we tried to do it. Not it's real as when we were successful.
100% did it. Just like they did. They had brothels and they gave people acid and all that stuff.
That's crazy, right?
All real.
You go into a whorehouse and you get doped up.
And I'm not talking that back in high school, everyone remembers we take that tab, maybe 2, put it on your tongue. No, they were super dosing people, like 2-3 day trips.
Yeah, they had like ecstasy.
There was this professor that wanted to study the effects of dying off of acid, tripping balls to the point that he died. and he did it too. And he put all of his notes on the blackboard. Now, I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly, but I think because he was so fucking high that towards the end of it, he was just writing gibberish.
Yeah, video cameras are needed at that point.
Yeah.
Yes, I can't. No,
and he died. He killed himself.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they might have revived him, but I think the story went that he died.
No, he's too dumb. Let him die.
Now, here's the spiderweb of it. The dude that killed Kennedy was in that study.
Yeah.
The mind control study with the acid.
Hey, they've been up to some shit, I'm telling you. Why did they take that baby? They took a baby and they like showed it like a little fuzzy bear, and every time they showed it the little fuzzy bear, they played scary music and made the baby cry. And then after a while, it just associated the scary music with the fuzzy bear. They've been studying our psychology for a really long time for a reason.
Because the government doesn't have the government.
They wanted to see how to control us, and now they can do it on a mass scale via TV. And they start young. Okay, well, like it's like trauma-based mind control, right?
Yeah.
And one of the ways in which they could traumatize like us on a mass scale is through like movies like Bambi. How many of us were absolutely traumatized as children watching Bambi's mom die?
I laughed.
Man, I'm not
well,
gonna lie.
You're an interesting sort.
I'm not gonna lie, I did too. But
are you kidding me? You fucking psychopaths!
People that are against the second movie based on Bambi.
What about what is that? What is that?
No,
movie?
but your point is made.
What's that movie about the dog with Jennifer Aniston?
Wait, what? Oh,
and the dog dies at the end.
Yeah, did you guys cry at that? Because if you didn't cry at that, then you guys are monsters.
I didn't watch it because I knew Milo was going to die, so I didn't watch it.
Yeah. Oh, it was terrible.
Old Yeller, I cried. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that's a dog. Though.
Yeah, right?
Oh,
but I guess it's different than a cartoon, but I would probably die. I'd probably cry over a dog dying than a person in a movie.
For a lot of times, I'm with you.
I know someone like that because I even asked her. I said, if there's a dog and a human falling off a cliff, who would you help? Like,
Well, the
dog.
human,
The poor
human
little
got
dog with its
hands.
eyes, it's like, why? At least the human
Why?
understands what's happening to them.
15 people. I'm sorry.
They understand as they fall to their death.
Yeah, like there's something about the animal not understanding what's happening to it that really disturbs me. But in all honesty, I would save the human. And with all silliness aside, I would save the human.
People out
Really,
there.
Tom Arnold is sitting there hanging.
I don't think Tom Arnold's a human.
I can't.
He doesn't count. He's a troll.
I'm sorry. There needs to be like 3 or 4 of us.
Oh, I don't think Sean. I don't think Tom Arnold is my arch nemesis.
Oh, he might not know.
Yeah. Tom Arnold has been trying to dox me since June.
Are you serious? What video did you?
Actually, It was a couple tweets. I was tweeting to him about how whites are being more and more oppressed, like in the culture, showing like like there's an article out that's called "Destroy the White Race," and then there's the ladies that couldn't make burritos and this and that. And for whatever reason, that pissed him off so much. He said that his brother was a hacker, and he could see my social security number or this and that. And like after all these months, he started like coming after me again. It's pretty funny. He doesn't really have much going on.
I've been threatened to get doxxed a few times. There's a guy on the flat Earth world. He's a globe guy, and he has my whole back.
I wouldn't fuck around with the flat Earth people. They're angry.
I don't care less. I don't have felonies. I don't do super shit. I've never raped or done anything to children. So you can look at my background check if you want.
I'm a white nationalist. So like when I get found out, there are repercussions. Possibly. I mean, really, I'm poor though, and like I work shit jobs, and I don't think they'll care. But there's a reason for people wanting to dox me.
That's it. As far as I'm concerned, they can do whatever they want. I taunt them sometimes. All right, I told Cynic about it. It's pretty bad. It gets pretty. Right now, we're in the calm phase. So I see him around because he stalks me. I see him around, but we don't. There's nothing big going on. Not anymore.
I've jumped into some live streams here and there, and I like to watch the live streams. But I see a lot of people that clothe, eat, shelter, or something like that.
Food,
it's kind of it's kind of a topic. They talk about trolls and being fucked with. I mean, it takes up a large amount of their time.
See, that channel, though, it's a little bit of flat Earth, but more involved is the Black conscious community, which, let me tell you, is by far the dumbest motherfuckers on the face of this planet.
That's how I found it, actually. I think he did a video on one of them or something. And
now, if you want to talk about a group that wants to make progression, yet all they do is take steps backwards. Matter of fact, they're in a feud with Flat Earth because I don't even know. They debated one of our top Flat Earther guys, Bro Sanchez, and the guy embarrassed himself. He came with like crayon notes basically, and ever since then they're jumping into chats, talking crap. They're trying to flag channels. They're doing their own streams, talking shit. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they like attention, and I think they might see Flat Earth as a way to get more attention. But they also get angry, and they take everything very personal, I think. And you call them a name, and they get very upset about this.
They don't even need to call them a name by fault. Now, this is not my opinion because I am what they call a coon. You are a coon because you associate with Jessica over here, and I'm pretty sure you have a white audience in there somewhere. So you by just because you're a coon, and that's what they will call a black guy that has anything to do with white people.
Jessica, how many times has this happened to me? Oh, she's not there. She doesn't even get to see it. Yeah, and I'm white.
Really?
Yeah.
Man. Swear to God, you sounded black.
Everybody says that, man. You're not the first. You're like the ninth person.
When you came to my stream, the first thing I asked you was, hey, you're not like part of the conscious community, are you?
Oh, did you? I don't remember you asked me that.
Well, it's all good because most They don't realize that I'm mixed.
Well, aren't we all? Jessica is all right. She brings some of her people over, and I have debated that, or I don't really debate people. I just kind of let them talk, and I say where they're wrong. And I've had a couple of them just assume I was black, so they were kind of disrespectful, I think the word would be. And then as soon as they found out I was white, all of a sudden it kind of changed.
Well, see, the conscious community.
What? You're just making that shit up.
Bullshit. Go back to when your two friends, when who's that guy, the professor?
I think it was more that they were in shock because we would like started laughing at them, and so they were kind of like put back. Yeah.
I think they just realized, I shouldn't talk shit to them or something.
Well, see, I assume because you sound. I mean, it's not even like you're slang.
Oh, did he think that you were black too?
Yes,
yeah, I did. It's not how you talk, because you talk well. It's just that the deepness of your voice, you sound like a black guy, or I would assume that you do.
Well, I grew up around all black people,
But I'm telling you right now, I am many times when I go on panels or talk to people, they assume I'm white.
Yeah, with you, I couldn't quite tell, but like I kind of got the indication. You could kind of hear it a little bit.
It's because I have a deeper voice than a lot. I don't say gosh. But no,
gosh.
Very
stereotypical. Well, golly jeepers! Wow.
I literally had to think about that to say it, but I don't even like race is beyond. I don't even think about it like that at all. I'm so far from that. It actually pisses me off when people do that, because as far as I'm concerned, I am me, and I don't put myself in a race classification.
Oh, your whole group is like that. The whole flatter, the section you're in, they're all black, but none of them seem racist, and that's why I was like, oh, that's nice at least.
No, but there's a handful that were part of the conscious community, and then because they realized.
Sean, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Okay. When you consider like African American story in America, and everything they've gone through, it's a story. You guys are your own people group. You know what I mean? There's like a lot of beauty in it that's helped to create America and whatnot. Does the idea of African Americans just disappearing at all upset you?
I don't even look back and think of it as my I'm
like your people.
I don't think of it that way. Not even close.
So you wouldn't care? You wouldn't care at all?
No, I'm mixed.
What do you mix with?
African American is I have the least of what I am. I have that German.
Okay, what if both whites and blacks were completely like disappeared because Hispanics took over? Does that upset you at all?
No, I don't get
what if
like that.
What if there were no white people left on the earth? Would that upset you?
I want to say no, but it actually kind of
right. Yeah, that's kind of sad. You're losing something in the earth. Like there's like something that's different, special, and then it's just gone.
Well, you grab that horse by the neck and drowned it before it took a glass of water.
So obviously, I'm, so I'm not, I'm not black. I'm mixed, right? Here. See this? This is my son. He is white. He's very pale. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't care about that. That stuff makes zero difference. As far as I'm concerned, it's not your skin race or anything. It's how you present yourself to people, your work ethic.
Okay, what if Asians disappeared? There were no more Asians. Does that upset you?
No, not even a little bit.
Fine, I'll be quiet now.
It's almost how, because I mean, like, let's keep it real. If like it was like, yeah, all the Germans went through all the Asian companies and took them all out, I'd be like, that's fucked up. But if it was just like they never existed, it wouldn't make a difference to me. I'm not race driven at all.
Well, see, okay, I'm a white nationalist, but it's because like I love my people and I see us like systematically being taken out of all of our countries, and that bothers me because I love my ancestors. It's like there's this idea of like people like they're in the image of me. You know what I mean?
But see, there's nothing wrong with that because
right?
See, because I'm talking to you and you're not over here going nigger this, nigger that, or anything just because that you feel any kind of way, around that way. But I know at least 15 to 20 neo-Nazi, new generation Nazis, and we're cool. They're just like, hey, I'm not racist. I just like to keep my race.
That's interesting because like I always like to get like a survey of like what normies think about about the alt-right. So normally they don't look favorably upon us.
It's you. What do I have to do with how you think or what you want? Nothing. Now, if you bring your points upon me and it's negative, that I may have an opinion. If you put your points upon my son, then I'm going to have a very serious issue. But that's about it. But that's normal. That's anybody. I don't care who you are. If you mess with me, I'm going to get irritated. You mess with my son, that's a whole different. That's war. I don't care.
Well, of course, yeah.
So that's how I feel about it. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if you were like, I can't talk to you because you're black, I'm like, well, you know what? That's your problem, not mine. Because there's a billion people on this planet. You think you not liking me makes me feel anything? That's how I feel.
He's more of an individualist.
But you found the what?
You're not going to drag them.
Have you heard of the hot tubs? No. But you found your community in the flat Earth. As a people, we crave that community.
See,
and I think we're lost as a nation without that community, that sense of belonging.
I consider 90% of the people I know on flat Earth my family.
You see what I mean? It's like in our nature to crave that. But if you think about it, like what's more important than your people?
I don't judge. I'm not judging anybody who believes it's a globe. I have friends that are globe. I mean, my whole real life casino, everyone believes globe. I don't know anybody personally like that. I mean, the only people I don't like are the people that are disrespectful and spread hate. I get along with anybody.
Unless you work for NASA, then fuck you.
Well, because then I could know a little bit more truths. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably not quite smart enough for all NASA wants. I may be able to do some stuff, but then again, I won't do. I'm not a laborer.
What's that company that creates the GMOs? Monsanto's. Yeah. They have like a revolving door between them and the Food and Drug Administration.
Absolutely.
Now that's a conspiracy that I lean towards.
Yeah, I don't like that they have so much power.
Well, what about what they're doing to all the farms? They'll buy this farm out, and then they'll put their genetically modified corn, and if the corn seed blows into a neighboring farm and it happens to grow there, they can sue them because they have a patent on that corn.
There's a lot of suicide. There's a lot of suicides in India because of that.
Yeah.
Really?
I think 80% of all crops, or 80% of all seeded plants indoor, like that we can eat or grow like that, I think they're all modified so that they won't it's right there. You can't reseed. You won't be able to reseed them. Tomatoes, you used to be able to do that. You remember you used to be able to make a tomato garden from a tomato seed you got? No longer.
You still do that.
Oh, there are some fruits and veggies that, but some you still can, because like we buried a squash and it grew like crazy.
It depends on where you get it and who you get it from, basically. Because there are, but like I said, there's the majority period of anything you buy at a grocery store. 95% of it will not regrow.
Wait, so are you saying they're seedless, or are you saying the seeds won't grow?
No, the seeds are genetically modified, so they won't regrow. Like a jackass can't have babies.
Yeah, we grow shit all the time up here. Yeah, we eat tomatoes and corn.
It all depends on where you are.
Seeds from corn. Yeah,
I don't know where you're at, but California, we can't have a farm. We can't have anything over a quarter acre growing. Otherwise, it's considered a farm.
Oh, in California, yeah, they have crazy laws, especially about like pesticides that you have to use, and
That's water,
You
right?
can't collect. You can't collect rainwater.
yeah, you can't
Really?
collect rainwater. That's such bullshit.
Oh, that.
But to be fair,
Why?
us in California, we're kind of stupid. And so I could see like how diseases would have been spread if like Californians were just like, this sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
But they don't
that's
know how to
right.
like properly store it or like purify it.
I agree. And now here's the other thing: all the people that don't want GMOs in it. Okay, I get it, but check this out. What happens if Monsanto's goes under, right? And all of a sudden we get all our natural food back, right? Guess what happens? People will get sick, die, and get just malnutrition. You want to know why? Because our bodies
Because they're not adapted to it. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's perfectly fine. Look this way. There's only
I
one
wanted to
time-
prove I was smart, so I was like, I'm going to finish his thought before he says it.
I do
Sorry.
that.
No, that's all good. At least it was the same thing. It was the exact same answer. That's all good. As long as the real answer.
I don't know how much it's affect our chemistry that much. I just don't know. But
Well, we used to all be adapted to polio in the 1800s.
All those
What?
things. I mean, here's the thing. Polio doesn't exist. Or let me get it. See, I don't want to talk about it. I have a buddy of mine who's like a super genius when it comes to that stuff, and he has the reasoning for it. Like, polio doesn't exist, but it's something else now, and I don't get it. But
I
he
had a
has.
teacher that had polio.
It's hard. Like I said, I can't explain it, but he's a super genius when it comes to vaccines. So if you ever like do a vaccine show, let me know. I'll get him on, and you'll be
Ooh, is he anti-vax?
absolutely.
Oh.
That would be amazing.
Absolutely. Oh man, he's a. I'm not gonna lie. He's like one of those idiot savants type dudes when it comes to it.
Like, I want to be anti-vax, but like I've said before, I vaccinated my dog because I was like, I didn't want to chance it.
Who
My
says
son-
that?
Why are you laughing?
Is that a T-shirt? I want to be anti-vax.
I wanted to be. I'm like,
Me and my ex, we didn't vaccine my son. He's not vaccinated.
Well, wasn't there a big old measles or
mhm.
outbreak
Oh,
in California?
Something that has to do with coughing. And my
Was it-
cousin actually was vaccinated for it, but still got it.
And the kid that was sick wasn't even from California.
No, that's why you want your kid vaccinated, because there's a lot that aren't coming from Mexico. They don't really do a lot of shit down there. And California, for whatever reason, just allows these people to come over in droves.
Right now, it's Arizona. No, it's Texas. Arizona's a little bit stricter on the legal immigration thing. San Diego ain't that bad. San Diego ain't as bad as you think.
Yeah.
I'm 15 minutes from the border. We don't see hundreds of people running across.
Wait, what? What was
Alright.
that? What? Huh?
I said I'm from San Diego. We don't see like hundreds of people running across the border. It's mainly Arizona, a part of Arizona,
Oh.
and Texas that they're really doing all that.
Yeah. Yeah, they have it pretty like locked down
Trump
there, don't
started.
they?
Huh?
They have it locked down
Say
in
again?
San Diego.
As far as hopping fences and all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
The majority of our illegal immigration is expired visas. We're very, very lenient.
But there is a shit ton of illegals in California. I worked with many of them. I've worked at so many warehouses where they only spoke Spanish. And like in the bathrooms was a sign that said, please flush, the toilet paper. Because in Mexico they don't do that. They have a fear of it.
That's fun. No, what the companies are doing now, because I had a company, so I also got this lecture. Instead of worrying about the border so much, what they're doing is they find the employers. So if an employer is found to have, they find the employers huge. I think it's like $100,000 fine if it happens more than once.
Good.
It's huge. And I'm in the construction industry, so it was insane. I mean, the workforce went down almost 30% when that happened.
There was a town, I can't remember where it was. It was in the Midwest somewhere, that made it. It would be a big fine if you rented to an illegal. So that way they made all the illegals leave for the job. It was a smaller town too.
They have that here too. A landlord can get fined. He can lose his property.
Really? Like, oh, They made it a big deal wherever. I gotta go find out where that was.
Another right here.
Well, your mic just exploded.
Well, I gotta go and raise something ahead. I appreciate it. You guys are cool. That's fun. I'm looking away as well. I thought I'd go a little bit. Maybe kind of feel stupid. But yeah, and I'll get that Grand Canyon, whatever Grand Canyon info that I have, whatever I have for that, so you guys get understanding where I'm coming from. Let's do it soon.
All right, Sean. Let me translate for everybody. Sean was saying that it was great to be on. He really appreciated it. Jessica was absolutely right in the debate, and I am absolutely right in everything I said.
You have to come. You have to come back so we could get into the Grand Canyon thing.
One and one. No, one and one.
That's what you're saying. It's coming through, but
Yeah.
dude, try to get the anti-vax guy.
Oh, I'll do it. Definitely. I'll let you know when you guys I'll put him on.
You're a robot.
All right,
That's
Sean.
scary.
All right. Awesome. Thank you for having me. Keep my mind back from my birthday real quick. You want to hear something random raving?
We can't understand anything you're saying right now.
Not a word.
God, Mike.
Yeah, we'll refresh it. It'll fix it if you want.
How about now?
Okay, you're better.
All right. Just tell them come and find me, Sean G. It's there. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll put your link in the description.
I followed you on Twitter also, so I'm Jessica Wolf.
Yeah.
That info.
Okay, awesome. Thank you guys.
All right, buddy.
Have a good night.
You too.
Well, that was interesting.
Yeah, it was productive, I think.
I'll be honest. You did a lot better than I thought.
What do you mean?
Well, we don't agree, obviously, but you had me going. Oh yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
I really hate though that I didn't have an answer for the specifics of the Grand Canyon, but that's
It's
okay.
gonna be a hard one.
Round 2.
Yeah, that's
I'll be ready.
difficult. You can come up with your own religion and to make it fit.
Blasphemy.
Oh yeah.
I won't need to. There's an answer out there.
Is there?
Mm-hmm.
I never really looked into it because it made sense to me. So, and I always loved the Noah's Ark, the story. That was like my favorite story. But I never really thought it was. Oh yeah, animals. Oh, you win. If you got animals in the story, I'm going.
See, that just seems like such nasty business to me. They're all on this boat for a year. Like that's work.
Well, as a kid, I didn't think.
As a kid, you don't think of
yeah.
But the interesting thing is the fact that we have those stories throughout all these different cultures.
Yeah.
It kind of gives you, it gives a little credence that it happened.
Well, no, not a world flood. The stories you have are like. I remember there was like a king. Bit. Well, there was like a king whose kingdom flooded, and he floated down, and ran into another, city, and talked about what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was never a world flood.
There's some world flood stories out there.
Is there a lot of fossils like on the top of Mount Everest or anything? From
what I've heard, yeah, there's a lot of fossils on a lot of mountains.
Yeah.
Of like shellfish and stuff that shouldn't be on mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's a hard one for me.
I will convince you all.
Well, you're the funner one was the music conspiracy. You sent me the video, but yet you haven't watched it. Is that what you said? Or you haven't watched it in a long time? Yeah,
it's been like 5 years.
A lot of these videos do the same thing. This one took Ashanti? Is that the girl that was in Queen of the Dam? Or
yeah, I guess.
Whoever she was young, and Jay-Z hooked up with her, and Jay-Z's like the main Illuminati guy, I guess, for some reason. And these two sat there and made this point that the reason why she died was because obviously she was a sacrifice because she wouldn't do something. So they had her plane crash and killed 12 other people or whatever for her. Zero evidence, just suggesting, well, she was with Jay-Z, so obviously.
And it fits our narrative. No, I'll be honest. I was rewatching the Hollywood Mind Control one.
No.
And I mean, it's 5 years later, and so now I realize, like, well, this is all like a lot of conjecture. Like before, it's interesting. You know what I mean? They're fun, entertaining stories.
Yeah, like a movie. I love them. But
what about
me that real is ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say ridiculous. I just say it'd be, difficult.
Read my lips.
Okay. What about what was that one? We sold our souls for rock and roll.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty well
does
balanced.
A lot of them. Yeah, really good. He does the same. He does a lot of Aleister Crowley.
Mm-hmm. And how connected he was with like a lot of the singers.
Right, but that doesn't have to do with devil worshiping. He was just a weird guy, and rich people were interested.
But they did worship the devil. He did worship the devil in his own view of who the devil was.
Right, not to the extent that these videos will make you think, though.
Well, it's a Christian video, and like I said, I skipped to like 4 because there's a heck of a lot of like weird preaching in the beginning that like just doesn't translate well to normies.
Yeah. And then they always take.
But you got to think about this: like Satan was the head leader of music in heaven. Yeah. So it would make sense that like he would have like a foothold and
absolutely,
in that. And he has an agenda. And just think about how like all the music has done.
Whoa!
Like so distrust in our society.
Your finger. Your finger.
Damn it! Consider how
We Are the World. Really? That hurt the world?
Oh, really? Oh my God. You pick one cherry-picked song. Are you fucking kidding me? You really thought that was going to fly? Most of them, all the rock and roll ones, so discontent and dissension for your government, for your nation, for your family. And even just for being content.
Right, they're rock and roll.
Especially, oh God, did you see the first one I sent though? Or the one that I said like was the one I meant to send, because it shows like how like Miley Cyrus and stuff, like culture creation, and how they're trying like the princess programming.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah, Miley Cyrus was a creation, but the only reason why she was popular is because the kids liked her. That's not a Satan thing. That's no.
They pushed her to. They developed her to make.
Well, they pushed
her. Sell.
Right. They tried a lot, though. They tried a lot of people and failed, and then they got her.
Okay. So Hannah Montana was a big hit, and then what did they do with Hannah Montana? This star that children looked up to. They had her, dancing on a stripper pole and acting all kinds of crazy.
Didn't do that.
When she came out, like as like an adult, she's like, "This is now what I'm going to be." Oh, come on! She has handlers. Like even if you don't believe in the Illuminati. You know that she has agents.
Her dad.
That are constructing her.
I'm willing to bet it was her dad saying, "Hey, okay, we're done with the Disney thing."
Well, you know who I think it is.
Who, Jessica?
Them. Echo.
Right.
Echo.
And
they're working for Satan.
Well, hold on. Yeah, I'm sure
but they admit it too. They admit it in articles that they're trying to bring down WASP culture.
Some people admit it. Why do you listen to those people all the time? Why do you take this one guy and say, "See"?
It's not one; it's a ton of them over and over again, and you could see how all the stuff they're doing is leading to the stuff they're saying. Hey, we're doing this for this purpose. So if they tell you this is the blueprint of what we're going to do, and then it happens, well, maybe maybe that gives credence to the guy that said this is our plan.
The world's not at the end. Come on, there's a lot of good.
No, you're the one taking it to that extreme. I'm not saying it's coming to an end. I'm saying they're fucking up our people, and like they're turning the women of our nation into like soulless like users, and the men into like we're just consumers, and it's not about family structure anymore. What?
Are you a soulless whatever you said?
Me?
Yeah.
The Bible saved me, I believe, from a lot of the conditioning.
So you don't hate the family.
No, the family's like the most
Do you
important
think
thing.
there's a lot of people out there that love the family and listen to rock and roll?
Of course.
Okay, so
I love rock and roll.
maybe it's just people talking shit to get
But you
attention.
gotta see how like divorce rates are rising.
That's because people
Children
marry
out of
too
wedlock. No, we used to marry much earlier.
Because we didn't have fucking Tinder.
Concepts have changed, and
We-
people are
right.
more selfish now.
There's
Just
more
like
options.
Aleister Crowley, "Do as thou wilt,"
Well,
is
but-
now what people are going by.
Oh, they're not going by Aleister Crowley.
No, but they don't realize that's who it's from. But oh my god, okay, I gotta find. I don't know which video this is, but it shows all of these kid shows and all these kid movies with common themes, common statements, and one of them is to follow your heart or to do what you want because that's the right way. And if they've injected these certain statements from like going back in like the early 90s, you know, it plays in your head. You can pick up on that, especially as a child. You hear this common narrative growing up,
Yeah, well,
and
I
it
grew
becomes a
up through
part
the
of your
90s.
ideology.
So you think there's just a whole bunch of people? Rihanna, really? Can you hear her? So you think there's just a whole bunch? I forgot what I was going to say. Damn it! It's not that bad, Jessica.
It's pretty bad.
It's not.
It is. Everything's on fire. I'm not saying it's like doomsday. I'm not going outside with a sign.
Well, no, it's not even to the point where it's okay. I'm sure there's people that work together and do evil shit to people, and then these people also make Miley Cyrus because that's where they get their money from. That's a very small amount, and Jesus could whoop their ass.
Okay, no, I have to disagree. It is getting really bad. You see more and more young women boasting about sleeping with multiple partners, and I'm talking into the fucking hundreds. That is insane.
Wait a minute.
That is fucking insane.
It is insane, but we've had those women for many
No,
years.
no.
We
Back
just
in
have
back in
internet
my
now.
day, no. Back in my day, a woman that slept with like even double, like even into the 2 digits, wouldn't dare go around saying it. These girls are posting it on Tinder like they're proud of it.
Right. There's going to be, because those are the loud ones that you can hear.
Culture has changed.
There's a lot of them that don't do that.
Oh, come on. Are you telling me that you're forgetting about the feminist marches, the slut marches?
Right, that happens.
They're trying to normalize.
But you're talking about a few hundred people in a population of millions.
Is it a few hundred?
Yeah, that go to those slut walks. Yeah, I've seen them.
Okay, but with the overall narrative of like, do what I want to do, like that's their.
You're going to have those people in your society, and the more people, we got more and more people. Remember that every year there's more goddamn people, and now we have internet, so now we see them all the time. We had sluts in my high school, like they were proud of it, but there was few of them. I mean, there was a lot of sluts, but very few were like proud.
From what I hear from the young men and like in the alt-right is that the majority of young girls are like that.
Yeah,
and they could go on Tinder at any time and.
Oh yeah, it's made it much easier. Yeah, there's that.
Well, and people don't have the same value system that they used to. I mean, you have to be honest. Like it has changed since even the 90s, but especially since the like 50s.
Yeah, it's the 50s. That's
and it's changed for the worse.
Yeah.
This is bad. This isn't how we should be.
We moved to the Midwest. We're good here.
Yeah, but it's creeping out there. And besides, I've heard that you Midwesterners can get pretty crazy.
No, what? Mm-hmm. Don't, stay away from the big cities.
I've heard stories.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
All the cornholing.
I don't know what that is.
It's actually a game when you have a beanbag and you throw it at a box and you try to get it in a hole and the other person throws theirs.
Oh.
You've seen it. You've seen it on TV.
Do you guys still do that out there?
We never really did it. It just for whatever reason we got paid with it, and I'm sure we invented it. But
cow tipping.
That's not even a real thing.
That's a thing in the South.
People try to do it. Well, no, because they talk about it here in the Midwest too, and people try to go out and do. You're not tipping a cow over
because they're so heavy.
God, it's hard. We've seen people try. It's not happening.
And they just like moo and just kind of like get out of the way.
Well, and then you got all that mud and shit in the way. So
But
you're
how
slipping.
fucked up do you have to be to actually tip a cow over?
A complete asshole.
Yeah, that's sad.
Because they're sleeping.
But I also think it's sad when they release a pig, you know, in like a pen, and they make people like chase it and tie it up.
Why is
And the
that?
pig doesn't know what, cause it's like the pig's like squealing and it's like all
Right,
fucking
and it looks
freaked out and
it looks bad, but you understand they need to. Well, they don't need to do it so much anymore. But that was like how they would practice
to train. Yeah, yeah.
And train the. I mean, there's reasons for it. They just put it on display.
Yeah. Well, I'm from California, so.
You got cowboys out there.
Yeah, but not really. So, like, to me, I'm like, the animal has a heart. Don't hurt it.
Well, we do that too. Farmers are very kind people. They don't want to, kill their cow, but that's what they're there for.
Yeah.
Just because you can go to the grocery store and pick up a bunch of hamburger and don't have to look at Bessie.
No, and I totally respect people that can actually look at the animal that they're going to eat. Like, I feel like that's how it should be. Because then you're like more gracious, like you're more grateful for it, to understand the sacrifice that was made.
Killing your friend, it makes you tough so you can kill people.
Yeah. Get ready for the coming war.
I mean, how many little kids raised their pig and then slaughtered it and ate it?
Jeez.
Yeah, that makes a
what,
tough
like their pet pig?
Oh yeah.
No, you can't. I'm sorry. No, you cannot have a pet.
Yeah.
That you then wind up eating. No, you cannot. No, you have to just see, because like one day I'm going to have a farm, and I'm going to have like selected animals that will be for food, and then others that will be for like the goats that will be for like their fur, or not their fur, but like their
milk.
Milk. But the animals, the animals that will be for eating, I am not going to have nothing to do with them, because then that kind of humanizes them.
Well, you got to feed them and take care of them.
Yeah, you just slap it down. Like, yes. I feel like it's wrong.
You're
to like, get a connection.
No,
you can't. You can't get a connection with like an animal and then eat it. That's psychopathic.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. It's going to happen if you're going to have a farm.
No, I'll have like a bunch of rabbits for eating, but they'll never see me. They'll be in their like little field, and I'll just throw the food over. And then if they like start to like wiggle up to me, like, "Oh, I'm such a cute little bunny," I'll kick it. Just let it know.
Jesus Christ.
You can't connect with the animals you're going to eat. That's not okay.
Wow. So you can't give animals decency as they live. That's fucked.
No. I didn't say that.
Yeah,
I said they would be in a field. No, because you're connected. Oh my God. How can you not understand? Like you have
your finger.
You have a goat. And you're like, you're holding the goat. It's like your buddy. And then you're going to eat that fucking goat?
I won't, but yeah, I kill it because I hate goats.
Okay, so I don't know, a little piggy, a cute little piggy.
Yeah,
you're gonna like hold that little piggy, and then you're gonna.
Yes.
How do you not see that's psychopathic?
It's not psychopathic. It's what, dude. You got to eat, right? That's what they're there for.
But that's what, like, I don't think most farmers. I think most farmers don't connect with their animals that they eat.
Oh,
they have them in their pens.
Well, and
they don't name them like, "Oh, hi, Joe," like.
Okay, yeah, no, you're not. But you can tell the difference between them. Not all of them, but there's always some that like have personalities and shit.
See, and that's the one I would keep around. I would eat that one.
There's a lot of them. You can't keep that many fucking animals around.
Then maybe I won't have a farm. I'll just become a hunter.
Yeah, that's
a cold hunter. They won't see me coming.
Yeah, that's a lot of walking though.
Or I could just like perch myself up in the tree.
Well, let's save society and keep the grocery store.
I could be like Ted Nugent. He has this whole property filled with like caribou, and he just travels around like laughing wildly on his Jeep and just shoots them. It's fucking awesome.
That could be a sociopath.
A little bit. No, he cares.
Yeah, but he's still crazy.
Yeah. But he cares.
He cares, yeah, so he can't be a sociopath. Okay.
Yeah.
Defending Ted Nugent. I didn't think I'd ever do that.
I love Ted Nugent.
His songs he's like, suck.
I don't really care for his songs.
I don't know who would. Why
I
do
just
you like him?
The guy. Because he's fun.
Oh, his personality.
And he built like a life that he wanted. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's very interesting. He had his own reality show, I think.
Yeah, and he's like staunchly against drugs and stuff.
And Hillary
That's pretty
Clinton.
good.
Why is that good?
You know, heroin's bad
It is.
for
That's
you
very bad.
and for society.
That's bad. Where's Tom?
I don't know. It's working.
I don't think he likes us anymore.
No.
Are people watching? There's 9 people. Why are you watching? You know, I just realized before I came on live that Netflix has The Walking Dead latest season on. I was going to watch it and say, fuck you guys.
That'd been very cruel.
That would have been. That's why I didn't do it.
Not cruel, but it would have been a dickish move.
That would have been very dickish.
But besides that, the latest Walking Dead season sucks.
The last couple have not been very good. I want it. I've seen it this far, damn it.
You're going to finish it?
It was like Lost. The Lost first 4 seasons were great, and then the last 2 or 3 just blew.
Well, everyone had such hope for all these little rabbit holes. They were, these little trails they were winding.
I'm telling you, these people.
And then it just turned out that they had no plan after all. Like, they just were coming up with crazy shit, bastards.
Exactly. They started off, they came up with great ideas with no fucking ending. Like, they never had a concept of making an ending. I mean, what was the ending? Like, they were already dead?
Oh, God. In the end, they, met in a church.
Yeah.
And that was purgatory. And then they were able to go together somewhere new. I don't know.
What was the island then? The island was purgatory.
Was it? They were dead the whole time? I don't think they were dead the whole time.
Look at that.
It was confusing. It was bullshit. And there was, all these unanswered questions. But it was one of the first TV shows, I think, that really, stepped it up. And then after that, you got a lot more really great TV shows.
Well, hey, because they did a whole sci-fi thing. That's not done very often. Not done very well. Very often.
Or Fringe. Fringe was another really good one for the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, I tried to watch it.
They had too many trails, and I was like, you're not doing this to me again.
Fuck you guys.
Yep.
Heroes. Oh, I love that. It got to the 2nd season, and then they had the writers' strike, and it just they had to cut off most of the stories, and then just blew dig 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, I never really got into that one.
I was good, and they rebooted it, and the reboot wasn't that bad. It was on Netflix. The Olsen twins' sister is in it.
What?
Yeah, I didn't even know they had a fucking sister.
Don't. Oh, their sister, yeah.
Yeah, their sister. And the Avengers 2 movie that had the Quicksilver guy and his sister. I kept watching. I was like, she is just like that girl from Heroes. Oh, it is that girl from Heroes. Like the same powers and everything.
Yeah, I don't much care for the superhero genre.
Suck.
Yeah.
That's great stories.
They suck. I like the X-Men, though. The X-Men's more my thing.
You ever seen Memento? Yeah, Memento. Yeah. The movie's in reverse. A guy, he can only remember 5 minutes at a time, so he has to write shit on himself and get it tattooed because he's trying to find his wife's killer.
Okay.
Oh yeah, well, I don't want to give you the ending, but great. It's hard to concentrate at first, but if you do, it's a good story.
Have you ever seen the Simpsons episode where they go through a day with all the Simpsons? First it's Bart's day, and then it's Lisa's day.
Okay, yeah.
And they intertwine. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So that came out when I was 16, and I was extremely stoned. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Because it kept going back to you know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah. It was funny. It fucking freaked me out.
I just watched it.
I couldn't handle it. I couldn't figure it out. What's going on? There's a puzzle here.
Simpsons was great.
And
they're still on. The movie
they suck now, though. I watch the reruns, but all the new stuff is just shit.
As a kid,
same with South Park. South Park is terrible now.
What?
Oh yeah. No. Oh god. Did you see the Trump one with the member berries? They don't even try anymore.
Oh, stop it! There was the whole Colin Kaepernick thing, and
I don't remember that one.
It's the memory berries. It's
Oh,
it's
was
a
he a
whole
side note?
season. Well, no,
Yeah.
they wanted to figure out what to do about Kaepernick taking a knee, so they went to, I don't know, somebody who makes movies, and wanted him to rewrite the anthem. And what he did was, at the very beginning, he said, "Please rise, or sit, or kneel, or whatever." So
Well, you
nobody
saw
would
the
care.
obvious propaganda in that whole season, right?
What was
With
the
the member
propaganda?
berries? The
What was
propaganda, okay, because Trump was running on Make America Great Again.
Yeah.
And the member berries were like, oh, come back to the past, and like portrayed the past as like silly and irrelevant. Whereas the
Silly
past
and
actually,
relevant?
yeah, silly and irrelevant. Like that was the conclusion that was drawn from it. The little member berries like, remember this, and it was like all these fun things, but like at the end, it really doesn't matter. We have to progress into the new age.
Okay, yeah.
But who wants Hillary Clinton's new age where you give children transgender treatment, shit like that? Like that's the future they want. The destruction
Whoever.
of family.
So the
The
South Park
liberals.
people.
I'm talking about like the lefties, the
Right,
ones that
but no,
were
but
aiming
the
for Hillary.
right, but the South Park people made the fucking. What are those two guys' name?
Trey and
Trey Parker and yeah, they're are they not involved anymore or something?
they are, but they're lefties. They didn't want Trump to win, and
Okay, yeah.
I
So
guess
you think
I
they
wouldn't have
did?
cared. Well, I wouldn't have cared if like it was done in an intelligent way, but it was cheap. It was cheap little,
Oh, come on.
cheap little points.
When Trump was running, it was especially at first, it was kind of like ha.
Yeah, but the point of the member berries was like,
Right, I got you on that. No, you make a point on that.
preserving our culture and going back to when America was great is just a silly notion that's in the past, and so the whole concept of it was just erroneous as far as I'm concerned. So it upset me. But I think the greatest episode they ever did was the Coon.
Hold on, I didn't hear
in
that.
that whole
Hold on,
series.
what was the greatest show ever?
The greatest one they did, the greatest series, was the one with the Coon.
Yeah,
That
that's
was great.
superhero stuff.
Yeah, well, when they do it, that's cool. I just don't like the actual,
Yeah, I got you.
crappy superhero movies and TV shows.
Oh, I love South Park. I think it's great.
It's so, yeah, but they suck now.
That's what you say. And you're wrong if you didn't know.
I'm so correct. You can't even see. Yeah, I was rewatching all the House episodes, and I got all the way up to season 7, and it just like struck 12 o'clock in the morning, and Netflix took them off of their system.
Yeah,
I was so pissed.
How does it end? Does he die?
I knew though, like I knew how it ends, but I you're watching it over again.
Yeah. Well, I have shows that they took off that I think it's just to the point I've watched so much Netflix that I just got to go back to the old stuff that I know I like and watch it over and over and over again.
Well, Netflix is one of those things that like you will wind up watching everything you like, and then you
get
like
bored.
unsubscribe for a while and then come back to it.
Yeah, I do that
That's
with
where I'm at.
Hulu. Yeah, I do that with Hulu, but Netflix.
See, I hate Hulu because like you pay for it, but then you still have to watch commercials. That's such bullshit.
We'll pay $2 more.
No.
Yeah, I'm with you. I said fuck
How
it.
dare they?
I'll watch it.
But HBO, you could actually buy a subscription like just from them personally for $10.
Yeah.
And
I think
access all of their old shows. It's awesome.
Dude, that's how internet's going to destroy the cable company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting.
Well, and it's going to destroy a lot of TV, so, which is probably good.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more creative now because you're going to get a lot more independent people thinking outside the box and not just thinking about like recycling old narratives. You know what I mean? People are going to have to try.
Good luck. They remake every goddamn movie.
Well, that's because the Hollywood, people can. Like, you know what I mean? They can be lazy. People are still going to go watch the movies.
No, they do it because they're worried that they're not going to. They want more of a guaranteed thing. And right now they think remakes are guaranteed money. And they don't really want to take their step outside of that.
But just think about like online, you have all these like people, these content creators, just regular people.
Yeah.
That are
I watch
creating
YouTube.
things.
I
Yeah,
watch
and like
YouTube all the time.
that's pretty much all I watch now is just YouTube.
Yeah.
And so that's what I mean by like people are going to really have to try. Like when it's all online, there's going to be so many more options now.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
Hmm.
I think everybody just gave up. We're just gonna poop out more Grown Ups 5 and Transformers 32, and
No way.
I like Transformers, but god damn it, I'm so sick of. They're making a spin-off now of Bumblebee.
Yeah, I was never really into Transformers, but I'm a girl, so.
You shouldn't be. They don't make Barbie movies. Well, they do. They got Barbie cartoons up that wazoo.
Yeah, it's really retarded. Every single Barbie movie is just like basic bullshit.
Did I see they have transgender Barbie now? Or was that a joke?
They probably do.
Or did I just make that up?
They probably have male pregnant Barbie.
Oh my god. Junior. That was a great movie.
My governor was once a pregnant man. My ex-governor.
What?
Because Arnold Schwarzenegger was in that, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you moved from California. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good movie. Him and Danny
I don't remember.
DeVito.
I was a kid when I saw that.
God, I remember that. I'm old.
Or what's that one where oh god, he has to Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah, great movie.
That was a good movie.
They fucked that. They tried to remake that too.
Are you serious? That's stupid.
Yeah, like
what do you think about it?
I didn't like the first one. I don't like
Really?
Stephen King for the most part. He just takes too long to get to the goddamn point.
Yeah, in the books. That's my dad. That's his common qualm about his books, is that he'll take like a whole chapter describing like the lady at the store.
Yeah.
And that's all she'll do. She'll just be like that's the only scene she's in.
Yeah, fuck that.
So it's like, why do we care about her backstory?
I wait for DVDs like Breaking Bad. I loved that show. I thought it was a great show.
Oh, it's a good show.
But for the shows are what 44 up or
and it was good all the way through too.
Well, there was a lot of parts where they fucking sat there and talked, literally for like 10 minutes. And so every episode, I'd skip probably 10 to 15 minutes of it.
Are you serious?
Fuck that. I know you have
That's
cancer.
Terrible.
We don't need to sit there and keep talking about it. That fat dude and his wife had the same conversation probably 15 times.
I don't know. I enjoyed the whole thing, but see, that could have been for the women demographic. Because we like the connection and stuff like that.
Fucking women mess all my good stuff up.
Did you ever see the Seven? It's about these Navy SEALs.
No.
That's a recent TV show. It sucked. It was
I don't really like military stuff, and
I do for some reason. Yeah.
Did you ever?
I was gonna be the first woman Navy SEAL.
Oh, god damn, that's hard.
When I was a kid, that was my goal.
Good. You aimed high.
I did.
I aimed low. I was like trash guy.
My dad was a Marine, so I was set on that.
Yeah. Did you ever watch a Better Call Saul?
I tried. Didn't really like it much.
Yeah. Damn it.
And it was pretty nasty.
I want to like it, and it's not. It's not.
Because you want it to be Breaking Bad, yeah, but it's not.
No, I like Saul. The Saul character, I think, is great, and his little gangster white dude, he's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Just the stories aren't really there.
No.
It's a lot of legal stuff.
Yeah.
Where's all the drugs and the killing? And where's the good old days? Memory berries?
Never berries. I hate that fucking season.
I want to get a t-shirt and send it to you.
Damn it. I won't wear it. And I love t-shirts too. I collect t-shirts, but I will not wear that damn t-shirt. Fucking bastards. Stephen King wants to block Trump from watching his movie. I don't think he's allowed to do that, right? Is Trump going to go to the movie theater and they're going to be have his picture up on the thing? Sorry, sir. We can't accept you into this showing.
Sorry, President.
That would be good though for an episode of something.
Well, the stars do that to get. He did it because his movie's coming out and he wants attention.
Mm-hmm.
That's what.
But it looks like it's gonna suck. Like it looks terrible. It doesn't look scary at all. It's like,
It's a clown. That's all it is. Is a clown.
but yeah, like I don't know.
We're in the CGI world. People want more than just a clown. Sure, it's
Well,
creepy.
even like the Masick it doesn't even look creepy. I guess because like it's all been done before.
Yeah.
I don't know. The first clown looked creepy. This one looks retarded.
Yeah.
And they were trying to go for like that alien look, like too much with the head.
Yeah. Who's the Kathy Griffin? She looks just like him. They had a side by side.
Really?
With her hair pulled back. Yeah, I saw it on Twitter.
Oh my god, I have to look.
I was going to retweet that. I should have. I was like, oh my god, that it kind of does look like the clown. It's just the red hair, and I hate her.
Scary face.
She's not funny.
She's not funny at all.
Yeah, I tried. She was like on was it News Radio?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it was a good show, but it's not her.
Yeah, she's come out recently after the Charlottesville thing and said that she was right all along with her little stunt she did.
Yeah.
You know, with the bloody Trump
Do
head.
people care?
Well, they cared when she did it.
Well, right,
but come on, like, I mean, she was like crying. She's like, I'm so sorry. I realize now how terrible. Yeah. And then the Charlottesville thing comes and she's like, I knew I should have stood my ground and I was right. It's like, shut up, bitch. You didn't know that.
She was trying to save her career. That's what it was.
Well, she was also like trying to like take advantage of the Charlottesville
of course
fiasco.
Yeah, get my name out. That's who she is.
I can't stand her.
No, I can't stand people like that in general.
Oh, not Stephen King. Pennywise. That's in here. You can't stand people in general?
People like her. People that will take an opportunity to make it about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
When there's an accident and a lady's just screaming like a nutbag and she had really nothing to do with it. Shut up. It's not about you. I know you want the attention. And they don't even realize they're doing it. They just done it their whole life. So.
Mm-hmm. A lot of times they're like single family homes. That's where
Are you typing in the chat?
Me? No, I was looking for the Kathy Griffin Pennywise thing. I can't find it.
So you stop ignoring. Don't stop. Or I'm done. I need to get someone. What do you think of Joe Rogan?
I don't like him.
Why? Did we have this conversation? Yeah, okay.
We did. Yeah, he's boring. And plus, he doesn't like the alt-right, so.
Oh, he doesn't? Has he said that?
Mm-hmm. I think so. I think he's come out like the rest of them.
So I think Joe,
stupid points.
Well, I think Joe will sit there and actually look at both sides, though. I might not agree with what he concludes, but I think he's at least honest enough to look at both sides.
But I think the thing is, okay, so he had who's Jordan Peterson on his show to discuss the alt-right.
Oh, fuck Jordan Peterson.
Why?
I don't even know who Jordan Peterson is.
Oh, because he had to go on Joe Rogan. I agree. No, but like, and all the leaders were like, "Hey, why don't you interview us, Joe?" But he won't.
Yeah, I could see him dodging people over that.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably just not a subject he wants to have to get into and lose subs or, you know.
See, the thing is with the Charlottesville thing, a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's the end of the alt-right," but it's really not, because at the end of the day, everyone hated what really was the alt-right. You know, they try to like say it wasn't about this, it's about, you know, that, but it's always been about identity politics, and people always looked at them as Nazis. Well, so it doesn't really change anything for the actual players in the alt-right. But not only that, but it did show people how violent the left was. I think it was a net positive.
Yeah, I think it was like a peak of the alt-right. I think that's like the most coverage you're going to get, but because of these hurricanes, you know, maybe I would have been wrong. But we'll see when they're done, and maybe the story will come back. But
it'll be referenced a lot, that's for sure.
Well, winter's coming, so things calm down in winter.
Mm-hmm.
All the excitement, because I've been doing YouTube for like 2-3 years now.
Oh, does it? I can't remember how, because I was doing videos during the last winter, but I can't remember.
Well, it's not that there isn't videos to do. It's just there's more activity in the summer because people are out doing things, and
Mm-hmm.
hey, let's tear shit down. So every summer there's always either cop shootings that was real big last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, and the riots last year.
Yeah, the BLM stuff was last year, and then the alt-right stuff was this year.
It's been kind of uneventful though, huh? And it's almost over.
Yeah, it kind of it got real intense, and then within a few, 3 weeks, maybe a month, it was pretty intense, and then just bye.
Mm-hmm.
So Antifa's dying?
No,
No, they're growing.
no, they're probably stagnant right now. They're not
So
going anywhere though.
Do you think all the coverage was a net positive for them?
Oh no, it was bad. It was very bad for them. And a lot of like weren't you the one that told me that Trevor Noah did like a video against them?
Yeah, called them.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like the Charlottesville thing was a bad thing for the left in general, and then also for Antifa. I saw tons of normies saying, call out violence on both sides, and especially because the Trumpians had to say that because they had to push the narrative that Trump was pushing, that Trump was being attacked for, So it carried that narrative really far. It carried that, who Antifa was and what they were doing, further into the conscious of our country.
Well, yeah,
and that's a positive for our country.
I think it, and I could be completely wrong about this because I might be going on a ledge here, but I really do think Trump saying the alt left really got the news organizations to go, hell, we don't want these people to be considered left.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about them.
Yeah. No, well, at first, though, they try to, cover it up. Like, oh, they're,
Yeah, well,
they're
then
the Nazi fighters. They're like your grandpa from World War II. But that wasn't playing well, so then they started having to, be honest about it.
It wasn't playing well in... Do you think they actually look at, what do they look at to see if they're making... I don't even know.
I don't know, because when you go on Twitter, all the lefty news organizations are filled with people saying, you're fake news. Blow yourself up. We hate you.
Well, I guess CNN would go by advertising.
Probably, I guess numbers of people that are subscribed to them. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand how the whole I'm watching CNN and they know I'm watching CNN.
Yeah. Oh, they know though because the box.
Well, we don't have a
count
box.
That.
Right. Well, there used to be a thing called the Jensen family or whatever. I don't know what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just certain people, and that one person would represent 20,000 people.
Well, everything went from analog to digital.
So can they count it now?
I bet they can. I think they can.
But I know they don't count if you record it. Like if you have a digital box and you record it, those aren't counted.
But if you're recording it, it's still on the station. So while
that's what I said. But they have come. I've seen things actually on this that they don't count those.
What?
That's what they said. I don't know.
I don't think it's true.
Well, that's what the cable company said.
Did you hear about there was WikiLeaks released a document that said that the CIA, is spying on us, has all these advanced tools that can listen to us through our phones, and one of them actually said the microwave. They can listen to us through the microwave.
Hey,
what the fuck?
Hey, the government can put a listening device in a microwave. That wouldn't be hard, but why?
I don't know if it was a listening device per se or just the way it's set up. I don't know.
Jeez, guys, you don't even know that much about us.
Yeah, well,
a lot of us just tell you on live streams what the fuck's going on.
But they'll just say it on Facebook, and most people, it doesn't really matter. But it becomes a problem, though, if there's a civil war brewing between communists and true American patriots. If the communists are in charge, they can find out who's against them.
They're not in charge. They're not going to be in charge.
They're halfway in charge. They're in there. They're in there.
Well, even if they are.
And then also, it's like Orwellian. That Orwellian society where they had recording devices in every home, and you couldn't have wrongthink.
That ain't going to happen.
Well, okay, not as far as the book does, but
it's not going to happen government-wise. We'll do it ourselves.
People are, yeah,
And you
especially with the Surrey.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
told you about how I think
But
it was
see,
Xbox that got
for
in
the
trouble for looking at people's houses.
well, for the majority of people, like, it's not a problem because they're just stupid people that just like live stupid lives.
Yeah.
But for people that are like activists, that
Well,
can
don't
be a
an
problem.
activist. Stop trying to change the world, Jessica.
No, that's terrible. You have to, and some of us are just born to.
No, we're good where we are. Everything's right.
No,
The
we're on the
government is
we're on
God.
the cusp of something terrible. I'm telling you.
Stop doing that. I
And
don't want my kids to grow up in
and
a bad world.
I'm sorry. Well, okay, but if you're by the wilderness, you're fine.
Oh, go.
Yeah, you should be okay.
Okay.
But the big cities will be, yeah.
Fuck them.
But no.
Don't move to a big city and then say fuck them.
My family's in the city.
Tell them to go.
I do. They aren't listening.
I mean, if you're living in a large city like LA or something, you're just insane.
Oh God, I would never live in LA. No.
Anything over 1 million. I mean, I don't like 500,000. If you got a bus line, I'm not a big fan of your town.
Really? A bus line?
Yeah, it used to be a train, a rail, whatever, subway. But now I think I'm at a bus station.
Yeah, I would love to live in the country, in the middle of nowhere.
We got a lot
Except
of room.
for like the problem is like, you can't just like walk to the store to get like
You can
chocolate milk or something or like
that's
a
not
Monster.
true. There's a lot of small towns that you can do that easily. I literally walk to my well, it's a gas station, but
Is it like a little mom and pop shop?
no, it's a corporate thing.
Oh.
But
sad.
I go to cities or towns like
See,
that.
it's reached you guys. It's reached the country.
Well, it's just yeah.
So that's where I would love to live.
I'm
I would
not
love to live in like an old timey.
Yeah, you can go there. There's towns like that,
That's actually where I'm moving.
but it's boring. There's not a whole lot to do.
There's nature though, beautiful nature.
Yeah, it does get
Last
old.
time I went there, because I'm stupid and from California. I would walked into the field, and like I sat like on a rock by a river, and then my nana was like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" And then like I found out about chiggers. I found out about chiggers the bad way. And then she's all like, "Put nail polish on it because that cures triggers." But my nana's like a natural troll, like in real life. And so I was like, "Are you fucking with me, Nana?" So I put a bunch of like nail polish around my ankle. But sure enough, it actually worked.
Yeah.
I got rid of them.
That sucks when you get Nana.
I did get it. It's true.